Game Night Live kicks off now. Sponsored by UCCU.
It is a beautiful sunny day in mid-November. It's football weather here at Rice-Eccles Stadium, the perfect scene for the semifinals in 6A, in the 6A state playoffs. And we got a good one here to kick off our action on Game Night Live. It's the Skyridge Falcons, the defending 6A champions, taking on the American Fork Cavemen. The winner of this game will advance to the 6A state championship game next Friday. Good afternoon, or morning currently. We're headed to the afternoon soon. I'm Jeremiah Jensen with you. Stevenson Sylvester will join us shortly. Mary Lou's Cook as well. These teams are very familiar with each other. These are Region 3 rivals. They played earlier this season. American Fork finally got the best of Skyridge. But now, this time, Skyridge is out for revenge. Some storylines in this game. American Fork is missing arguably their best player. You see him right there, Davis Andrews, the Utah football commit, the safety for the university that's going to play at the University of Utah. He's going to miss this game with a collarbone injury. That's a big, big loss for the American Fork Cavemen. So they'll be without Davis Andrews today as the Cavemen try to get back to a state title game. And, you know, Sly, you're very familiar with Davis Andrews. You know the kind of player he is. How big of a loss is that for American Fork today?
Yeah, I mean, missing a player like that is huge, right? Because not only can you just like plug and play somebody, but you're missing that playmaker factor, and that's huge. It's kind of like missing Lander Barton for the University of Utah. Yeah, I can put somebody else there, but that playmaker instinct is what we're going to miss. And Davis Andrews on both sides of the ball, from the receiver position and from the safety position, those are big positions on this high school football team. So I think they're going to miss him tremendously. But, you know, they got a lot of talent around this roster. When we covered them earlier this year, it's just like, who's the guy they throw to? They can throw to anybody. So I'm very excited to see how this game works out.
So American Fork will receive the opening kickoff. Skyridge has deferred to the second half, even though they won the coin toss. Now, I'd love to sit here and talk about all the players for Skyridge, and we will get to that soon. But there's a big story that happened this week, and the Skyridge Falcons are going to be without their head coach, Justin Hem. They had an ineligible player in the last two games, and for more on that situation, let's go down to Mary Lou's Cook to explain in detail what's happening with Skyridge.
Yeah, Jeremiah, like you said, Justin Hem will not be on the sideline today, and it is due to the use of an ineligible player in their two most recent games. Farmington on October 27th, and it was Pleasant Grove last week. Now, he has been suspended for the following 2 weeks, so he's not here today, and if they are to advance, he wouldn't be here next week either. The school's also been put on probation for the next year and will have to report to the UHSAA. They've also been fined $3,000. Now, Pleasant Grove is not happy with that punishment. They're saying that it's not enough. So parents and students yesterday took to protest because in 2019, Lone Peak had to forfeit the rest of their season for the same exact offense. So a lot of people not happy at Pleasant Grove, but that's what we've got on that. Thanks, Jer.
Mary Lou's, thank you. Of course, you know, Pleasant Grove wouldn't be happy about that, and that was a really interesting battle last week in the quarterfinals. Skyridge avenged a loss earlier in the season to Pleasant Grove in overtime. The first time Pleasant Grove beat them in overtime. But there was some issues in that game, and it got pretty heated, and then they have this situation with the ineligible player. Pleasant Grove feels like they should be here today.
Yes.
But the UHSAA determined that that's not the way that this is going to work.
Right.
They are going to put Skyridge on probation. Head coach Justin Hem will not be here for the remainder of the playoffs. And so that's the situation, and that's where we're at now. And now you move on to Skyridge on the field. You know, I don't know how much of a distraction that's going to be for the team. We see some players down there with free Coach Hem on their pass and stuff like that. You know, I'm not sure about that, but what we will talk about is this team and the talent they have on it, and they got a lot. Starting with Jackson Stevens, their quarterback, the transfer from Davis, has had an outstanding season so far.
Yeah, Jackson Stevens had a tremendous year this year. Skyridge is already a stable juggernaut high school. And so him coming in just only heightened this school. And coming into this football game, I'm very excited to see how he's doing because his maturation over the years, we saw him, we covered him a few times at Davis coming in here, and just every single year he seemed to get better, and we definitely saw him reach a different stage this year, and this is the ultimate stage here, and this is why you transfer to American Fork, so you can be here, or I'm sorry, this is why you transfer to Skyridge, so you can be here at Rice-Eccles Stadium at the end of the year. So this is his time to shine. What I'm interested in seeing is Coach Him was the play caller as well. So wanting to see how the play calling change. Are they going to pass as much? Are they going to run the football more? What do they do differently that Coach Him isn't at the helm, today? So that's going to be very interesting for the plan of attack for Skyridge. Defensively, their two linebackers are going to be all over the place and making plays for them. I think they're going to try to put the pressure on American Fork, make them try to find a different guy because Davis Andrews isn't there. And so it's very interesting to see how these game plans are going to unfold today.
The American Fork Cavemen taking the turf at Rice-Eccles Stadium. They want to get back. They have not won a state championship in a long, long time. In fact, 1962 was the last state championship for the American Fork Cavemen. They've been close multiple times. They've reached state championship games. They were in one recently, multiple. They're very familiar with the turf at Rice-Eccles Stadium, but they've never left here with a championship. And you have to go back to 1962 when they did take home some hardware. So they have been very motivated to end that streak, and they have perhaps the best team that they've had, which is saying a lot over the last decade. Head coach Aaron Beam has done a tremendous job with this program. It feels like they're here each and every year, and here's another opportunity for them to earn a chance to play for a state championship, but Skyridge is going to have a say about that. This is going to be a dandy. Both of these teams very competitive, loaded with talent. You mentioned Jackson Stevens, the quarterback for Skyridge. 3,817 yards passing this season, 63% completion percentage. He's averaged 318 yards passing per game, 45 touchdowns, and 14 interceptions. But Dylan Story's done a great job for American Fork. He's been terrific this year, very efficient quarterback, 2,819 yards, 256 yards passing per game, 31 touchdowns and 6 interceptions. That's a really good touchdown to interception ratio.
Yes, it is.
So both teams have excellent quarterbacks. The difference in this game could be the running back position. Jacob Erdley has been dynamite for the American Fork Cavemen. 1,155 yards rushing and 17 touchdowns this season. I think the key, Sly, is going to be, can Skyridge bottle up Erdley and make American Fork one-dimensional? That could be their key to victory. And for the Cavemen, they've got to force turnovers and put pressure on Jackson Stevens. As we mentioned, Jackson Stevens has had a great year, but he has 14 picks this year.
Right, which means he takes risks.
He does.
Right.
And you can force him into some of those.
Well, that's the thing. That's what I'm saying. I'm like, that's going to be the interesting story. So, the head coach is the play caller. And with him being out, how is that going to affect Jackson Stevens' decision-making? Are they going to run the football more because they don't have that one? Jackson Stevens likes to take risks, but without the proper play calling, are they going to trust to make that happen? Because turnovers and every possession are going to be crucial in this football game.
Right out of the gate, Erdley with the carry. Number 28, Jacob Erdley, a 5'9", 200-pound senior. And he's not a guy that's going to – he's not a Barry Sanders. He's not going to shuffle around and try to get to the edge. He's going to hit you right in the mouth. He's going to be straight up the gut. They like to run in between the tackles. They love their offensive line, and they believe they have an advantage there. So, again, as you see, Erdley going right up the middle. Right through the three-hole there. Skyridge is up to the task, though. Number 90 in on that tackle. That's Ian Mariner, the senior defensive lineman. And the Cavemen are going to go quick. Right back at it on 3rd down and 3. Story's going to pass, and the catch is made.
Was that
rug out of bounds.
Oh, okay.
They're going to let that go.
Yeah. I mean, horse color is extremely I believe, a subjective call. I've seen it called when somebody just has their hand up around that area, not pulled or anything. But yeah, see, sometimes that's called. I know that was the jersey, but sometimes they even call that.
Josh Andrews, the tight end, had that catch.
Oh.
Early up the middle, not happening this time. And the Skyridge defense clogged up the middle. So no gain on that carry for Early. It'll be 2nd and 10 from the 47.
This is interesting. I mean, we're going run, play action. I mean, normally when you do this, you're waiting for your opportunity to take a chunk play, right? You're going to lull the defense to sleep, make them pay attention to the short, quick passes or the run plays, and then you dial up something deep.
Story to pass. Taking a shot deep. Great defense. In coverage was Tavian Edwards, number 21. The American Fork fans want a flag.
This was good defense here. As I said, they were going to allow you to sleep, and then they're going to take a shot. One, the ball hung in the air way too long. The receiver had to slow down, wait for it. The ball hung up in the air way too long. It needs to be on the outside shoulder, out in front. Let the receiver run under the football. Make sure he doesn't stop. So I thought the throw was the effect on that because the receiver had a beat on the cornerback.
Jet Nelson was the intended receiver. Story's going to throw again on 3rd down and 10, and we got a flag. We got a false start.
Well, that doesn't help. Yeah. These region opponents, they know each other well. And so the crowd's going to be in it. This is a very familiar matchup.
So 3rd and 15 from the 42. Cavemen will pass. Story taking a shot over the middle. Nope, not there. Again, the coverage. Tavian Edwards on Jet Nelson. And a reminder, Davis Andrews not playing. He's another deep target, which if you have Nelson and Andrews,
it's almost like
it's a bigger challenge, but they know that Jet Nelson's a deep threat, and they're really keying on this.
But he's still one-on-one, you know, and honestly, it looks like they're throwing the ball expecting to get a pass interference. The defense is draped on the backside of that. It could be called, but it's too close to make that decision.
Fair catch, signal, drop, punt. The ball's on the ground.
We got it back.
They did get it back. That was a nervous moment for Skyridge. But they will maintain possession. And we get our first chance to see this Skyridge offense today on the turf of Rice-Eccles Stadium. Last time Skyridge was here, they were celebrating their first state championship. Now it's a new group of players hoping to forge their legacy at the school, led by quarterback Jackson Stevens, who we talked about already. So Stevens leads this offense. They're going to hand off and run right out of the gate.
Yeah.
And Carter Sheffield's going to get the bulk of their carries. Some other players to watch. Jack Burke has been their leading receiver. He's had a monster senior season, as has Trent Call. You'll also see Trevin McClellan quite a bit. But those three guys have taken the bulk of their receiving yards, and Colby Smith's also in the mix as well. And you see their front. They're big and nasty. We'll talk about them throughout the broadcast. Tight coverage. That's incomplete. Zane Edwards in coverage for American Fork. Dax Watts was in there as well. This American Fork defense, the offense has got a lot of attention this year, but this defense is really good. We broadcasted the American Fork Lehigh game, and Lehigh's offense is electric, and American Fork
handled them well.
Really handled them.
Yes.
So they can play very physical defense. 3rd down and 9. Stevens, pass is complete.
Kalama.
So La'akea Kalama.
He was a big part of this offense last year.
He had an injury this year.
Yeah.
Which has been something he's still trying to get over. But La Kalama, an important player last year on that state championship team, and he's back this year. After the first down, they get stuffed trying to run. A group of American Fork defenders all over that. Sheffield wrapped up. They are going to give him about a yard before he was sent backwards. So it is not a tackle for loss.
It's very interesting, man. And trying to see this level of play calling. You see Skyridge is wanting to establish the run. You know, whether they have success at it or not, they want to make sure American Fork respects the running game.
Stevens hands off. Sheffield up the middle. Gets to the 40-yard line before he's locked up again. So it'll create a 3rd and 6 or 7. It's right in between that 41 and 40-yard line marker.
Yeah, this helps you, especially when you have a quarterback that can make the throws. Jackson Stevenson is that quarterback that can make all of those throws, those deep outs, those arrow routes, to open them, the switch routes on the outside. It makes your offense that much more dynamic.
Blitz comes in. Sheffield's knocked out of bounds, well short of the marker. So Skyridge gonna have to punt. Great job by the American Fork defense. Bent a little, but did not break. And their offense is gonna get the ball back.
It's great pressure. Delayed blitz right there. Great pressure from the inside. Made him get rid of the ball before I believe he wanted to.
Punt is away. Fair catch signaled. And that fair catch is made at the 17-yard line.
Nice. So first possession for both teams, right? You know, punt and punt. We kind of seen it late last night in the 4A matchup. It's gonna, at one point, it's gonna pop, you know, for one of these teams. So it's which team can be disciplined, which team can do it. Here they're huddling up here, trying to reconvene, make sure everybody's on the same page. When you're missing your head coach, you're definitely going to need this. You know, so the whole team's huddling up here. This is great. You know, in the first quarter, it's like, look, we took the shot. Let's stay together, stay disciplined. Because that's the whole thing. When you get all this stuff, it's like everybody wants to make a play. So you try to do things that outside of your responsibility, and when you do that, you create holes in the defense, vulnerabilities. Things open up more than they're supposed to. So this is a great job by the interim head coach at saying, hey, stay on your keys. Let's do what we're doing. Everything is good. Nobody's behind. It's tied up 0-0. Do your job.
Yeah, one of the things to watch, we mentioned American Fork missing arguably their best player, Davis Andrews. Which side of the ball could that affect them more? Is it offense or defense?
Right,
because, you know, you've got Jackson Stevens, who's a great quarterback, missing your star safety on the back end. How much does that hurt you on offense? How much is it going to hurt you? You don't have one of your deep threats in the pass game. We saw in that first drive, they know Jet Nelson is the only guy that can hurt them deep, and they were all over.
Right.
So that's something to keep an eye on. American Fork's going to have to make an adjustment. It's always difficult when you lose a star player. Who's going to step up? And how do they adjust and make plays in another way? Story's going to throw it. Great defense again. Incomplete pass. Well defended. They read that well.
Yeah, he's got to hold on to that ball for a couple extra seconds. Yeah. The receiver didn't even break the DB's grasp there.
Fotu Moiai, the safety, made the stop.
Yeah.
So Moiai made that difficult. So it's going to be 2nd down and 10. Blitz comes. He gets rid of it and overthrows the receiver. He took a shot. They brought the house. They're putting pressure on Story.
Yeah, Story looks a little rattled here these first couple series. He's got happy feet. He's in there. He's not making good reads pre-snap. Some of the things is nervousness. That's a little anxiousness. And as soon as he calms down, I think this will be a little better.
Takes a shot. Incomplete. Threw into double coverage. Wasn't there. And 3 and out for the Cavemen. They're going to have to punt.
That's a quick 3 and out. That is a quick 3-and-out. Great job by the Skyridge defense right there. They had everything covered on all of those plays. You know, American Fork could not get loose at all. You know, this whole season we've seen American Fork really game plan and scheme things extremely well. But this is a very interesting matchup here, man. They've done a tremendous job at keeping American Fork in check.
They get the punt away. No fair catch. This is going to be returned by Kalama. Makes a move. Another move and gets out of bounds. Decent return by Kalama. Gets about 10 yards on the punt return, and he's got Skyridge in American Fork territory to start this drive. He's out of bounds at the 44-yard line.
This is great, man. You know, field position is very important all the time. If I can start with a 45-yard field instead of a 70-yard field, that's huge.
Of course.
Right? Because that affects play calling, the situational football of where I'm at on the field, what I can do, screens versus deep passes, saving a play early in the drive versus later in the drive. Everything is affected by field position.
Stevens looking left, 3 receivers. He's going to throw it underneath, and American Fork's all over that. The catch is made by Jack Burke, but he didn't get far. He picks up 4 yards up to the 40-yard line. So 2nd and 6 now for Skyridge.
Great job right here. He had the swing route out here open as well. He could have hit both of those. That's a good pickup on first down. That's 4 yards.
Dart thrown by Stevens. That's good for a first down.
Yeah, great RPO read right there.
Trevin McClellan makes the catch. That'll move the chains.
Yeah, and this is the furthest receiver, too. This is the second receiver in right there. And look how much mustard he put on that throw. That got out there quick. That RPO game has got to happen quick because American Fork isn't playing too soft of coverage. They're up there. So that RPO needed to come quick, and Jackson Stevens really got that ball out quick. That was a nice read by him. Good. That thing was quick, right? Like,
yep.
He picked up, 8-10 yards on just that play right there.
1st and 10 from the 29. Stevens, they're going to stop play here. You can see the call there.
Of the offense. 5-yard penalty, still first down. Correction 79, number 79.
So false start will back up Skyridge. That'll help this American Fork defense. There was a little bit on their heels there. It's tough on a defense when you're given a short field like this and an explosive team like Skyridge with some great athletes. So this will be a challenge, but that extra 5 will help. Now 1st and 15 from the 34. Stevens, a man is sent in motion. They're going to hand it off. Sheffield with the carry. Sheffield's got nothing but green in front of him, and he's finally taken down inside the 5, but there's laundry on the field.
It's the laundry you don't want.
If you're Skyridge.
Yes. Need to use extra Tide in this wash.
Illegal shift on the offense. 5-yard penalty from the previous spot. Replay first down.
That's unfortunate because that was a big game.
Yeah, that was for Skyridge. This is a big play. Sheffield with a big hole and a nice run, and that would have put them goal to go from the 5, and instead they are backed up even further. Now 1st and 20 from the 39. They started this drive at the 44, so they've almost erased everything they've gained on these 2 penalties. It's got to be frustrating, but they'll try to regroup here. We'll do first down again. Over the middle. Catch is made. Spinning away. Can't get away. The catch was made by number 14, Jack Burke.
Well, that'll do it.
And they're just 2 yards short of the first down marker.
That's a big 15, 16-yard or 18-yard gain. It was 1st and 20.
Yep.
That was a big 18-yard gain on a nice RPO slant.
So American Fork is giving them a little bit of a cushion. Those corners are way off the receivers. Stevens, handoff. Sheffield, nope. American Fork closes that gap quick, and now it's going to be 3rd and 2. They might give him a few inches there, but not much.
He lost a yard. It's going to be like third and 2.5, 3 yards here. Oh, no.
Third and 1 from the 20. They need a yard. Nope. They are going to flag that, so that's going to give Skyridge the first down on the encroachment.
I like free yards. But, I mean, Skyridge got so many taken away from him.
Encroachment, defense number 19. 5-yard penalty, resulting in a first down.
Yeah, they got so many taken away from him from false starts and illegal shifts. Moved all the way back to 1st and 20, got it all back, and American Fork wants to give him a couple more.
So first down and 10 from the 15. Stevens is going to keep. Now he's going to throw it outside and overthrows it. Too much heat on that one. Intended for Trevin McClellan. Stevens would like to have that one back.
That is
he may have been able to keep there and get quite a few yards.
Yeah, I don't know why he didn't, because, 4 yards is a good gain on first down. And I think he would have had at least that on that drive if he kept that. But I really like that play call. I really like that play call because it puts the defense in a loop. Are they handing it off the other way? Is he keeping it? He could pitch it. He has that option. It's good. I think Jesse Stevens got a little excited on that and overthrew it.
So 2nd and 10 from the 15. Stevens.
Oh,
going to
nice
go to the right.
move.
Wide open. Caught, touchdown, Skyridge. Easy pitch and catch. Trent Call with the touchdown. And the Falcons strike first.
Oh, my gosh, that's a beautiful double move. Yeah, that was orchestrated great by Jackson Stevens. Made the corner bite on the hitch, and it opened right up that back of the end zone. You're getting solo coverage out there. Why not, right? Great read by that receiver. Great route by that receiver at running it. It was a great stop. Made the corner bite, and that came wide open on the backside.
The extra point is good, and the Skyridge Falcons have a 7-0 lead. Trent Call's first catch of the game is for a touchdown, and the Falcons have the early advantage.
Yeah, you didn't even get a pump out of the quarterback. He was just looking that way, and that corner bit on that. Very good. Beautiful ball right here. Only where the receiver can get it. Touchdown. Great job. Trent Call.
See the bite right there. Whoops.
Yeah.
And there you go.
Beautiful.
Wide open.
Beautiful double move. The route was absolutely perfect. Great job, Trent.
So Skyridge leads American Fork 7-0 with 4:04 left to play first quarter. Now American Fork will have their chance to answer. We'll take a quick break. We'll be right back after this.
At UCCU, we'll provide you with a low-rate line of credit that makes it easy to access the equity in your home with no fees or closing costs.
Simply complete an application on your phone or computer and select the low-rate option you prefer.
And then sit back and enjoy the peace of mind that comes from knowing you have a low-rate line of credit. Ready for whatever life throws at you.
To learn more or start your application, visit uccu.com or stop by any branch.
At UCCU, we'll provide you with a low-rate line of credit that makes it easy to access the equity in your home with no fees or closing costs. Just complete an application on your phone or computer or stop by any branch.
Welcome back to Rice-Eccles Stadium. Beautiful day for football. A fantastic Friday. Doesn't get better than this. 6A state semifinals. American Fork and Skyridge, Region 3 rivals. Schools separated by just a few miles. No love lost here today.
No, none.
This is intense, and we're seeing a very physical game already. And a lot of emotion here today. 4:04 to play in the first quarter. The Falcons strike first. American Fork now will have a chance to answer. Their offense has struggled so far on 2 possessions. Again, they are missing their star player, Davis Andrews, who plays both offense and defense. He was a deep threat as a receiver, scored a lot of touchdowns this year, and then on defense, he was a star safety who has committed to play right here at the University of Utah. So that's a storyline here. He was in the coin toss to begin the game. in a sling. Collarbone injury. The challenge for American Fork is to find a way without him. And they're going to be backed up again. Just like the last drive, they're going to start at the 17-yard line.
Great coverage right there. Yeah, they need some kind of spark. Dylan Story, as I said, he's like he got happy feet out there. He seems a bit rattled. So if he can settle in and make some good throws, I think that the American Fork Cavemen can get on. And all that's decision making. Like on the first one, it was a sprint out. He threw it way too early. He had no pressure, but he just decided to throw it. Got to let that play get open so he can make things happen. Other plays, something just didn't happen. But hats off to Skyridge's defense. They are making it hard for Story to even look at and see what's open.
They're going to go to Erdley, and that's his biggest gain of the game so far. It's a good start.
Yeah, that's if all else fails.
And that time, instead of in between the tackles, they tried to get him on the outside, and it was effective.
That might be what you have to do, right? Is get Erdley on the edge, loosen this defense up, make them worried about the outside, and then the inside will open up. And do some counters, have them think it's going outside, and counter right back into the inside.
Erdley coming up on 1,200 yards this season. They're going to go back to him here. Not much. It's going to force a third down in about 4.
Great job by these linebackers. Tianzin Silu and Jackson Felton. Both of those guys are really handling business.
Kopo Malafau is off to a great start as well. They're stout up front, Skyridge is. So third down and 3 from the 24. Let's see if Story goes to pass or if they try Erdley again against that stout front. They're going to go Erdley. Trying to find that gap. It's close.
Oh, he's going to fall forward.
He did fall forward. That offensive line did a great job giving him a push. I think he's got enough. I think they're going to move the chains, and they do.
Yeah, because they stopped him right at the line, and then they fell forward right after it. It's a great job by Erdley at pushing his pile. Fall forward right there and get that first down. Great job. 2 hands on the football. Secure that. And got the first down, extending this drive.
That's American Fork football right there. They'll run Erdley a lot, lean on that big, huge offensive line, and take their shots in the pass game when they can. Story back to Erdley. More room this time. They're starting to soften up that front a little bit. That's a nice 4 to 5 yard gain. They're going to put him right past the 30-yard line, so 4 yards. It'll be 2nd and 6 from the 31.
Right.
With Andrews out, this is what American Fork might have to do, is slow this game down and lean on that run game. Erdley, nope. Story pulls, but he misses the receiver. Story is an efficient quarterback. His completion percentage is over 60%, but he's off target so far today.
I don't know if it's him or is the defense just really getting to him today, because he seems rattled. I know you said that Davis Andrews is missing, and that's a key part, but they got a lot of weapons on this offense. It's not just Davis Andrews. They should be able to spread this ball out and still not look so bleak as they've looked in the passing game thus far.
It's 3rd and 6. They're going to throw here from the 31. Story over the middle. Catch is made. Excellent job.
Great hands.
To hold on to that, and we see Josh Andrus again. That's his 2nd catch of the game. In fact, the only 2 completions for American Fork have gone to Andrus, but that's going to move the chains.
Yeah, Andrus is a big-time receiver in this offense, and he's a guy you can throw the ball to. I know you got Jet Nielsen out there. He's able to put some stuff together. You got multiple weapons.
Back to Erdley. Not much there, maybe a yard. They'll get him to the 42, which is a 1 yard gain, so it's 2nd and 9.
Yeah, I love this part about football, right? Like, the running game isn't happening, right? Like, it's not, you're not getting big stuff that you're normally used to getting, but you keep chopping wood. right? You keep chopping away at it. Don't act like you're afraid to run the football. Keep running the football. It's going to pop.
Story throws, catch made, big physical hit.
Andrus.
Boy, Moyai delivered a big hit, but again, it's Andrus. It's not a huge gain, but it makes third and short a possibility here. Third and 3. A note about American Fork's offense, the only player on their starting lineup on offense that's under 200 pounds is their quarterback, Dylan Story. He's 5'11", 180. Everybody else, including their receivers, running backs, all 200 plus. This is a big team. Story has to get rid of it quick. The catch is made. He cannot get to the sticks. He's short. In fact, they might only give him a yard on the catch. So American Fork has a decision to make here at midfield on 4th and 2.
Ooh, this is a big-time decision right here.
They made it. Okay. They are going to punt.
And I'm good with either way. Even if they said that I'm going to go for it, I'm good with that. But punting it here is great. As I said, this is a battle of field position. You punt this ball, you pin Skyridge back there, they punt it to you, you get it back right in this area right here. So I like this decision.
Jacob Owens is the punter. Tavian Edwards is back deep. Fair catch made.
Great job.
And they'll do just that. Great
job.
Punt. We'll pin them at the 11-yard line. So the American Fork offense got something going there. It didn't lead to a score, but they got to midfield. They got something going offensively. And now they'll play the field position game. With Skyridge backed up at their own 11, now it's up to this American Fork defense to do their job. For Skyridge, boy, it sent quite a statement to American Fork if you're able to drive against that defense 90 yards for a touchdown.
Yes.
So this is a huge opportunity for Skyridge to send a message early.
It really is, but they got momentum on that last drive, right? You know, they got penalties, they got it back, got into the end zone, so that might be the spark they need to make this happen. Great job by Jackson Stevens right there. It wasn't there. He didn't force it. The defense was right in his face. They were swiping at his arm and all of that. And he was able to stay strong in there and make the right decision. Great job by the American Fork defense and taking away the first RPO option right here. But this is a great job by Jackson Stevens because it is an RPO, which means they're still running the ball. That means the offensive linemen are going downfield. If you're pumping a couple times and you end up throwing that ball, that's an ineligible person downfield. So him keeping the ball was a great decision right there.
Gains 2. 16 seconds left to play first quarter. That's a handoff to Sheffield. He gets some positive yardage. Decent run. Out to the 18-yard line. So that's a pickup of 4 or 5. So that'll make third down easier when we return to the action. But that is the end of the first quarter. The Skyridge Falcons lead the American Fork Cavemen 7-0 after one quarter in this 6A semifinal game. Let's go down to Mariluz Cook on the sideline.
Thanks, Jer. Yeah, I mean, I tell you what, the intensity of this rival far surpasses what's going on in the field because I'm talking to the students in the stands, and it is intense. American Fork brought over 5 buses in addition to all of the students that carpooled today. When I asked them how they describe their opponent today in Skyridge, they said that they are worthy rivals because they're good, but they want to show them that they are better. Now, when it comes to Skyridge, I talked to them. They told me that they've been here since 7 a.m. this morning. They had Chick-fil-A catered, and they wanted to make sure that they were nourished and ready to go. A lot of energy coming from both student sections, a lot of fun. I might have to go hop into one of those student sections at one point. We'll see. Back to you guys.
Chick-fil-A is nourishing, right? Let's.
Well, I guess they are well nourished. They've got some energy down there, wearing their orange.
All the nutritional facts.
Yeah.
Getting my vitamins.
We love our friends at Chick-fil-A. But
oh man, I love it. They were here at 7 a.m. It makes sense, man. If you're bought in, you're bought in.
That's impressive.
You're bought in.
They were the first people here, and they're ready to go. Thoughts on the first quarter, Sly? I thought it went exactly how we thought it might. Defensive battle, both of these teams strong, physical, and it's exactly what we got, even though Skyridge has the edge on the scoreboard.
Well, you know what? These teams can score, and so that's the thing. And they're so evenly matched. Even the matchup earlier this year where American Fork pulled out the win 34-27, they can score points. So even if this goes into to halftime 7-7 or 7-10, low scoring like that, they can have a second half explosion. And you know that you're seeing the talent. I just think that this first quarter was a big filling each other out, right? American Fork didn't know how Skyridge was going to call the game and vice versa. But they're getting off it. This is a big third down right here, right? You know, if American Fork can hold and make Skyridge punt, they get the ball back around the 50-yard line. That's a good job by this defense. That's what you want to do. So, honestly, haven't figured anything out yet. You know, which team is going to bend or which team is going to break here, right? And give in and make it happen. I thought it was a great decision at the end of the quarter for American Fork to punt it. You know, you could go for it on fourth down. There's a lot of teams that are aggressive and make Skyridge have to go 50 yards. But, like, this is a long game, right? And let's play the long game. We're only down by 7. Let's make it happen. Trust your defense.
Skyridge will begin this drive. Sorry, it's 3rd and 3. They've already began this drive. We pick it up at 3rd down and 3 from the 18. Stevens, incomplete. The American Fork defense gets the 3 and out that they wanted. So the Skyridge Falcons are going to have to punt deep in their own territory. The Cavemen defense gets the job done.
All right, that's exactly what you want, right? You want to force 3rd down. They're going to punt the football here. You're going to get the ball right around your 45, 50-yard line.
Nice high punt. Fair catch signaled.
That's a great punt. Pushed them all the way back to the 36.
That fair catch is made at the 36-yard line, so that was best case scenario for Skyridge. The Cavemen probably were hoping to start closer to midfield. Instead, they'll start at the 36. But that offense, I feel like, is probably feeling a little bit better about themselves. Instead of taking the deep shots, they had success bringing Andrus over the middle.
Yeah.
Erdley got a little bit more yardage there. They softened up that front a little bit. Let's see what this offense can do now. Down 7.
Yeah, I mean, but Andrus, you can still seam route. You know, Andrus, he can be a deep threat down the seam. You know, and especially that's that RPO hot read right there. You just hit him down the seam, make it skinny seam. You make it happen. There's a lot of things you can do with this offense. Dylan Story just got to settle in.
Erdley. Maybe a yard.
Oh, the Skyridge defense is playing tough on the run.
Yep, they are.
They are trying to make sure Erdley is not a big part of this football game. That seems like the mentality for sure. These linebackers are really aggressive along the line of scrimmage. They are making great reads as far as run and pass. Getting up there quick, making sure the double teams don't stay on their D-line. Great job by those linebackers.
2nd and 9. Trips to his left. Story's going to look to pass. That catch is made.
Guess who?
Out to the marker, but we've got a flag down, and this, we'll wait for the call.
I think it's roughing the passer.
Yeah,
man.
I think you're right.
That's going to be huge, right? And we talked about American Fork starting this drive around the 50-yard line. With this penalty and that first down pickup, they'll be way beyond the 40-yard line of Skyridge.
Personal foul, roughing the passer. Number 17 is the defense. 15 yards added to the end of the run, automatic first down.
So that turns into basically a 25-yard gain. This is huge for American Fork. Andrus again, by the way, making the catch.
Andrus is a big weapon in this offense. I know you're missing Davis Andrews, but you got Jet Nelson. And if you put a lot of focus on Andrus, then the defense is going to start focusing, and then Jet Nelson will just pop open.
And Nelson in that matchup with Tavian Edwards on the outside. They're ISO together. Edwards got the best of that matchup so far. So right now they're going to Andrus, and he's eating. Story throws it over the intended receiver. So 2nd down and 10 now from the Skyridge 38.
Moving the ball here. It's second quarter, 2nd down and 10. You're on the left hash. What do you do? What do you do? You got trips to the boundary, which I don't love. Just run the football. Run the football.
Story's going to throw it over the middle, knocked away, and they're going to throw the flag. That was too tight a coverage. Too tight.
Here's the thing is Dave had that. When those 2 deep balls they were throwing to Jet Nelson, it was the same type coverage. That defense was draped all over the back. It's just they decided to call it this time. I think it was the right call. He was draped over, but it's got to be consistent.
Pass interference, defense number 18. 15-yard penalty from the previous spot, resulting in a first down.
Well, Skyridge is playing very physical in
yes.
coverage, and that time they got bit.
Well, they're playing physical all across the board in the running game and now in the passing game as well. They're draped on these receivers. And see, look, he's just draped on the back. There's contact before the ball gets there, and that's what they're calling.
Handoff, Erdley.
Yeah.
Stuffed again.
Gotta love these linebackers. Look how they're charging the line of scrimmage. They know it's run. They know it's coming. And they're charging the line of scrimmage, creating that stalemate, making sure that line of scrimmage isn't reestablished further downfield. And that's making no room for Erdley. Great job by those linebackers and those D-line coming off of their blocks to make those plays. Awesome. Did that guy's shirt just say, I love Lone Peak cheerleaders?
Yes, apparently that's a thing.
Yeah, I love my opposing team's cheerleaders. Okay. Oh.
Jet Nelson. Oh, he didn't hold on. There was an opportunity there, and now Nelson is injured. Jet Nelson getting up slowly. You know, for American Fork's sake, let's hope he gets up and isn't out of this game. They can't afford to lose him. But
no, they can't.
That was a great throw by Story. It was a tough spot and a tough catch to make. But the throw was there, and Nelson had it in his hands but couldn't hold on. Credit to the defense again. Number 22's name, Fotu Moiai, keeps coming up. He was on that play.
Yeah, he had a great angle to that right there, and he beelined right over there. I almost thought he would have had an opportunity at an interception, but he took out the receiver, which is what you got to do in that.
3rd and 10. They set up a screen play here, and Skyridge didn't bite. That didn't go, and now American Fork is going to have to attempt the field goal.
Yeah, I mean, again, I know this is the college field, so the hash marks are a little closer inside, but I don't like that to the short side of the field.
That was really congested.
Yeah. I mean, there was a lot of going on over there. Very hard to develop. Only got a yard. Are they going to kick the field goal? Yeah, okay, they're missing somebody. Gotta go. Yeah.
Call a timeout here. So the Cavemen call timeout. Interesting call timeout here. I'm not sure if it's personnel or if they're thinking about something here.
Yeah, it was a personnel issue, and the play clock got way too down, and you didn't want to rush the kick.
There you go.
Because if you rush the kick, you might as well have just went for it on 4th down.
Yes.
Because the kicking game is very, very, very tedious. It's got to be perfect environment. The wind's got to be good. The laces got to be out. Finkel would not be happy if he was forced to kick a quick field goal.
You don't want to upset Ray Finkel.
Finkel and Einhorn. Finkel and Einhorn. Finkel and Einhorn.
So now they have time. It's a smart use of a timeout here in the first half. You got 3, use them, and that was a situation that it made sense. So they've got number 14, Peyton Roth, attempting this field goal. This is a 39-yard attempt. It is short. It is no good. Not even close. And the Skyridge defense with a big win. They bend but didn't break. And now the Falcons will take over at the 22-yard line.
Yeah, it just always goes back to it. It's just like, man, we kicked the field goal. We could at least try to see if we would pick up the first down.
Hindsight, right?
Right.
But it was a good distance and to try it from, but they were well short. We're going to take a break. 9:15. We'll have to play here in the second quarter. Skyridge leads American Fork 7-0, and the Falcons have the ball after this.
Muscle. It takes commitment through the comfortable, the uncomfortable, the starts, the stops, the sunny days, the stormy days. Here at Salt Lake Running Company, rain or shine, we've got you. We are here to help you keep moving forward. Locally owned, locally operated since 1995. SLRC offers free custom shoe fittings, rewards, training groups, races, free events, seminars, and clinics. Visit us in store or online today at slrc.com.
If you want to avoid your AC breaking down this summer, the best thing you can do is stay on top of your AC's annual maintenance. But if you do find yourself with an air conditioner blowing hot air, Any Hour Services technicians service all brands, and they can usually get to you pretty quick. Call Any Hour Services or schedule online at anyhour.com. Whether you need maintenance, repair, or replacement, the technicians at Any Hour Services can help you keep your home comfortable all summer long. Call Any Hour Services or schedule online at anyhour.com. No one helps more homeowners than Any Hour Services.
U Conference football registration is open for the 2023 fall tackle football season. This year, we are proud to announce the addition of a girls-only division to play alongside our boys. Team scheduling lines you up against comparable competition, making every snap a valuable life lesson. UC football is safe and fun. Learn the game with confidence. The competition will be fierce and the camaraderie will be second to none. Sign up today at ucfootball.org. That's ucfootball.org.
Welcome back to Rice-Eccles Stadium. 9:15 left to play second quarter. Skyridge with the ball. First play of this possession. They're going to get a first down. He's still fighting for yards. Nice run. They'll take that all day.
Great run right there, right off tackle. Now they're going up-tempo here. But a great run, attacking the edges and then getting us straight upfield. No messing around. Just get upfield, 15-yard gain.
That was Zayden Salou, who's not in the two deep, who's come in and having an impact. Back to Sheffield now.
That's 2 straight runs. They got a good mix of run and pass here. I mean, and even their passes, it's heavy RPO, right? We've only seen like 4 or 5 dropbacks from Jackson Stevens. Heavy RPO, and they're running the football.
Second down and 7 now from the 37. Trips to his right. Stevens. He's going to pass on that RPO. Throws it outside and incomplete.
Right in his chest.
Not sure he would have got much after the catch.
No, definitely not. The defense was all over that. Great defense by American Fork. Taking away the initial RPO of the slant. That was double covered. There's no way he should have forced that in as he did, but he came back to the other side, and that was snuffed out well. Great job by American Fork.
Big play here, 3rd and 7 from the 37. This American Fork defense would like to get off the field right now. Play clock's down to 3. I guess they're going to have to call timeout. They were having some issues down
That's
there.
what Jackson Stevens was saying. He was like, y'all better hurry up. The play clock's down. Look at the clock. Trying to find out what we're doing here.
Now, you mentioned that this is a challenge for the Skyridge
Yes.
offense. Head coach Justin Hem, as we reported at the beginning of the broadcast, is suspended for the remainder of these playoffs.
Right.
After an ineligible player participated in their last 2 playoff games. So he was their primary play caller on offense, and they're having to do without him today.
Yeah.
So I would say that so far the team's done just fine, but right there you saw some issues.
Mariluz did a great job of breaking down that story, because I didn't understand that part, that Lone Peak had the same issue a few years ago, and they had to forfeit the rest of their season.
There's a long history of this.
Right, and so
East High School 10 years ago had a state championship contending team, and they had to forfeit multiple games from the regular season, which impacted their playoff seeding. But then, like that Lone Peak team that had all those forfeited wins, they go on a run and win a state championship.
Right.
So
from that perspective, I think Pleasant Groves has an argument.
Yeah. I understand their frustration.
Oh,
Stevens.
middle.
Wide open over the middle. Closed down. Interception. It took too long, and the American Fork Cavemen forced the first turnover of this game. Wade Stringham, the safety with the interception. We talked about somebody stepping up with Davis Andrews out. That is a play Davis Andrews would have made, and Stringham makes it for this defense.
I'm trying to figure out what made him wait. I mean, as soon as that drag route came open, that post route was wide open. That's when you got to hit it. Hit it now. And he waited.
He hitched.
And that hits allowed that safety to come over and make a great play right there. As you said, 14 interceptions on the season, now 15.
Story
turnovers
connects, catch is made, room to run, bouncing off defenders, still going.
Wow.
How about that? That is Jacob Dean. Now, sorry, that's not Jacob Dean. Let me get the correct name here. That was number 36.
No, that was Jacob Dean.
Is that Dean? Sorry, those letters, those numbers are really hard to read from up here.
Scrunched up.
38, that's
up.
Jacob Dean. I thought it was him. Way to go, Jacob Dean, on that catch and run. Bulldozing his way near midfield. That red on black, sorry, that is really tough for us broadcasters, I'm not going to lie. We're doing our best. Early with the carry.
We got it right. Good. But great first play out of the turnovers. This is exactly what you want to do. You want a big chunk play, and that was it. And great run after the contact, right after the catch. Great job by Dean.
They needed that.
Yes, they did.
Now they're past midfield now, 2nd and 5 from the 47. Story in the middle. Nelson's
he's got to catch that.
Having a rough go so far here early on. That one in the hands and couldn't get it.
He's got to catch that. That was in his hands. I don't know if he T-Rexed it because he saw the safety coming down. I know the ball was a little low, but that hit you. You got to catch that. That would have been huge. That would have been a big 12-yard pickup.
Yeah, that would have continued this momentum they have after the interception.
Right.
That pick gave them a lot of juice. You saw Jacob Dean. Now they're in a tough spot. 3rd and 5 from the 47. Skyridge brings the house. He gets rid of it, and it's incomplete. Knocked away. Great defense. Went to Anderson. He couldn't hold on. Gabe Cravens was there, and guess who? Number 22. Fotu Moiai once again in the mix.
Playing amazing.
Moiai is having himself a game.
But this Skyridge defense is so aggressive. You got to hit them with the double moves. The same thing that Skyridge scored their touchdown on, you got to start hitting this. The sluggo would have been perfect right there if they ran that to Jet Nielsen on that play. They got to hit the double moves with this aggressive defense.
Kalama's going to come up and get it. He did not single fair catch. He's live, and he brings that up to the 29-yard line. Decent return by Kalama. Rolls the dice there a little bit, but it pays off.
Oh, yeah. That's what's great, man. You get these fearless punt returners in there. You're like, did he fair catch it? Normally people fair catch it. I'm right on top of him. He keeps running. Makes that happen. Kalama fearless as a punt returner.
All right, 6:52 to play here, second quarter. We've got a media timeout. We'll take one. 7-0 Skyridge leads American Fork on Game Night Live.
I love my new Chevy Blazer. The first time I saw one driving down the road, I knew I had to have one. It fits my skis perfectly. It's cute and comfy. I got my Chevy Blazer at John Watson Chevrolet. My experience was amazing. The staff always treats you like family, and it was easy from start to finish. I would rate John Watson Chevrolet 5 stars. In fact, I would give them 10 stars.
John Watson Chevrolet, your 5-star Chevy dealer.
I would definitely recommend anyone looking for a new car to come to John Watson Chevrolet.
Salt Lake Running Company is inspiring our community to move with purpose, embrace adventure, and consciously connect to their bodies. Exercise is essential now more than ever. Take control of the chaos and make time for you. From the gym to the trail, SLRC can help you find the focus to define your finish line. Visit any of our locations along the Wasatch Front or shop online at slrc.com.
From commercial to recreational truck accessories, Mountain Land Truck Outfitters has got what you need. Flatbeds, spray and bed liners, lifts and leveling kits, wheels and tires. Mountain Land Truck Outfitters proudly uses a brand you know and trust. And with our experienced, knowledgeable, and friendly staff, your visit here will be informative and enjoyable. Stop into our convenient location in Provo at 265 South 100 West or call 801-225-4637 to get a quote for your fleet or individual truck. Mountain Land Truck Outfitters.
Back to the action. They're going to run on first down. Sheffield wrapped up, gets 4 yards on the first carry there for the Skyridge Falcons as they open this drive. Well, Jackson Stevens, made a mistake, was late on that throw, hitched before he threw it. It was enough for the safety to recover. Made a mistake, turned the ball over, but no harm, no foul. American Fork didn't score. So he can flush that away and move forward. Sheffield runs. Nice run. It's a first down to the 41-yard line.
Great job. They're moving the chains, running the football, running these short passes, getting the ball out of Jackson Stevens' hands really quick. But here they are really establishing the run here in this first half, which it's great because it's going to get American Fork to come up, and that's when you hit them deep. You got to play that game. This is a long football game. You got to play the chess match.
Stevens outside. Another catch made and another big gain. Number 14 with the catch. That is Jack Burke.
Yeah, great job right there. They are moving down the field extremely well right now.
.5:35 to play second quarter. Stevens going to hand it off again. Sheffield running is working right now.
Ooh.
Stopped at the 45 of American Fork.
Gotcha. Yeah, I mean, we got 5 minutes left here in the second quarter. Honestly, if you're Skyridge, you want to take up as much time as possible so American Fork doesn't have an opportunity, but come away with points. Whether you get a field goal or a touchdown here, you want to take up as much time as possible. Ooh,
yeah, they're going to call it. Yeah, that's
offsides.
Too much.
That's offsides.
This is, you wonder if some frustration, the mental game, right? You go out and you get your offense a big turnover, and they can't do anything with it, and now you're starting to get frustrated. You're starting to press a little bit.
Yes.
Penalty.
Yes.
Still second down.
And that's what he does. I mean, you put pressure on him, right?
Yep.
So you're going to come out, if you score here, you're going to come out here in the second half, and American Fork's going to be like, okay, I got to catch up.
Yeah.
And so they're going to start doing things a little bit more freely, going away from early, and that's what you want them to do. Force them to be one-dimensional.
Stevens, plenty of time to throw. Now he's going to be flushed out of the pocket. Now he's just going to throw it away.
Great defense. Great
Good
defense.
job by American Fork there.
Great defense.
They were struggling a little bit before that on this series, and that time they did a great job in coverage. There was nothing there.
Yeah, that was complimentary right there, right? You had great defense on the back end, making Jackson Stevens hold the football. Defensive line comes up, makes sure that he doesn't get the ball off to any late receivers with late coverage, because it's very hard to cover receivers all over the field. So you got to make sure you're getting pressure with that D-line. Great complimentary defense right there.
So 3rd down and 1. Going to go call on the direct step there.
Oh, he didn't get
Under
that.
center, he didn't get that.
He didn't get that.
He's short of the 40.
Wow.
So they went, they tried to sneak that in there. Trent Call, who played quarterback for them last year when McKay Hillstead was injured, he has that touchdown in the first quarter.
Oh, look at that. Crunch him up right here. Yep. He got nothing. They knew exactly what was coming.
So now it's 4th down and 1. It's interesting to see what Skyridge does here. Go run or pass.
No, he didn't jump in the
close, but not quite.
Yeah, they're going to take it up and just Punt it? Yeah, they're going to call timeout.
Yeah, they're not. They were never going to go
actually
here.
Take the delay game.
Yep, they were never going to go here. They're going to punt.
Oh, they call timeout. So, normally in the pros, you want at least a 45, 50-yard field to punt it. But in high school, most of the time you don't punt it as far. So you don't need to take a delay a game penalty here. But great decision right here. Tried to jump them off sides quickly.
They almost got him.
Yeah, almost.
It almost paid off. But it shows you the respect they have for the American Fork front.
Yes.
Which, really, you had a reminder just there, just how tough they are.
That third down was awesome. The way they bottled him up right there, they weren't giving up an inch. Great job by American Fork.
And I'll give the Cavemen credit. They looked to be hurting a little bit defensively on this drive early. They were giving up some big gains.
Right.
And for them to tighten up right here shows a lot. They showed some mental toughness there. And assuming Skyridge punts here, they're going to give their offense one more chance before the half. Skyridge will receive the ball to open the second half. They won the toss but deferred. Well, they got the offense on the field. Let's see if they go for this or they do a squib kick punt. The Ben Roethlisberger special.
No, they keep trying to draw them off sides.
Yeah, it was close there.
It looks like they're going to go for it here. Let's see.
Clock's down to 10. They're going to snap and go. Sheffield fighting for yards.
Nice.
He's got it. They push him forward. So the Skyridge offense on 4th and 1 gets it done, and this drive will stay alive. Great effort there by Sheffield, and the right side of that line got the job done.
That's gutsy right there. I like it. As I said, they want to keep the ball here. They want to keep draining the clock. Whether you get a field goal or a touchdown on this drive, you want to make sure American Fork does not have enough time to respond before half. 3 minutes and 42 seconds left. 26 seconds left in the half.
1st and 10 from the 36. Stevens going to keep. Now he's going to throw.
Oh!
Ooh, that was close.
Oh, did he wrestle it away?
Who's got it?
Right. Incomplete.
It's an incomplete pass, which is a blessing for Skyridge.
Yeah, because that looked like a backwards pass, right?
It was close.
Yeah, that would have been a backwards pass, I believe. They're calling it incomplete. They're saying it was forward.
Okay,
yeah.
so since it was a pass, it was an incomplete pass forward. So
right.
They're ruling it was forward, and it was incomplete.
Right.
So no live ball, no fumble, no interception, nothing there. So actually that worked out well for Skyridge because that would have been a 5 or 6 yard loss had he caught it.
Right.
Give American Fork credit. They blew up that play. 2nd and 10 from the 36. Stevens throws. This is what they were trying to do a moment ago. Kalama wrapped up quickly. He doesn't get far. Justin Borges with the tackle.
Making this a 3rd down and 7 here. I don't know if this is field goal range for them. I saw them kicking field goals. They were kicking it from about 48, 50 yards.
Yeah, we're right at the 50-yard mark right now. 3rd and 7 from the 33. If they don't gain another yard, they'd be looking at a 50-yard field goal attempt.
Which I would take.
Big play here for this American Fork defense. They need a stop. Stevens, hands off.
Yeah.
They're going to get the stop.
And it's going to be in the middle of the field. Great play call right there. I would drain all of this clock, call timeout, then kick it. So that would leave, I would have them at the line of scrimmage so American Fork doesn't call a timeout because they think you're going to go for it. But I would take this all the way down to about 1 minute and 35 seconds. Call timeout and then come back and kick the field goal.
Right now, they don't have the field goal kicking team on the field. They're showing that they're going to go for this.
Because American Fork has 2 timeouts. You don't want them to use it. You want to make them use all this clock.
Yep. They are going to go. 4th and 3. Stevens, catch is made. That's a 1st down.
Oh, that's bold.
That is bold, but Fortune favors the bold.
Yes.
There to the 24-yard line with a new set of downs.
All right. It worked. When you got a good quarterback, you make it happen. So
they are in it to win it. No surprise there. We're under 90 seconds to play. 1st and 10 from the 24.
Come on, Sly. We're in the state championships. Let's go.
Stevens going to hand off to Sheffield. He gets about 5 before he's taken down. He's up to the 20, so it'll be a gain of 4. That clock continues to run, and they're doing exactly what you talked about, which is smart. Do not give American Fork a chance on offense, because not only can Skyridge score here, but they get the ball to open the second half.
Exactly.
This could be a really tough swing for American Fork.
But it's huge momentum. When you're going into half and now you're 14-point dogs at that
Stevens,
point. Oh, yeah.
Open.
Oh,
Catch is
yeah.
made. Touchdown. La Calama. The Falcons convert on 4th down twice, and it leads to another touchdown.
Oh, yeah. I feel like
20 yards.
I feel like the Kool-Aid man. Oh, yeah. I saw that open wide up. That's a perfect look. Great play call right there. You keep hitting them with that short smoke. You have them aggressive, and then you wheel them out around. Great play call right there by Skyridge. Getting the touchdown. 45 seconds left on the clock. That's exactly what you wanted to have. And if they play their cards right, they can go into the locker room with a 14-0 lead.
It's 14-0. A reminder, Skyridge gets the ball first to open the second half. Another look at the Stevens to Kalama touchdown.
Beautiful throw. Right on the money. Beautiful throw. Great play call right here. Out and up. Oh, nice. Kalama with the great route right there, but a beautiful ball. Just like the first touchdown. Beautiful ball by Jackson Stevens.
Kalama, the senior, state champion. He's the most productive player on offense returning from last season. He graduated a lot of talent, as you'd expect on a state championship team. So Kalama's had a lot of success on this field the last 2 years. So 45 seconds on the clock. The Cavemen will have an urgency to try to get something to go on offense with that time, because Skyridge gets the ball first to open the second half. Just a massive touchdown for the Falcons. The pressure it now puts on American Fork throughout the rest of this game. We got a flag on the kickoff. They'll have to do it again. How about the guts to go for it twice on 4th down and convert on that drive?
What you talking about, Sly? This is the state finals. We in it to win it, right? Like, ain't no messing around here. And that's what Skyridge is like. We lost to them at the last part of the season, right? We were undefeated heading into that game, and we let them beat us, and then we got beat again by Pleasant Grove. We beat Pleasant Grove last week, so this is our rematch to beat them this week. There's no playing around, man. Let's make this happen. I'm trying to blow this lead open, make them really worry, make them one-dimensional. They're missing Davis Andrews. This is our game. We don't have to lose it to anybody, and they're showing that, man. And I can only appreciate people willing to take risks and owning their square space, and that's what they're doing today. And Skyridge is making sure that American Fork knows that they're here and they're ready to go.
Kickoff.
Good kick.
Still deep, my goodness. Even after the penalty, it's a touchback. Great kickoff. It eliminates the possibility of a return. And so the Cavemen will get the ball at the 20-yard line. 45 seconds left. So you've heard of the 2-minute drill. Does American Fork have a 45-second drill here they can execute? Because they could really use some points here before half.
I mean, we covered American Fork earlier this year. They did one-play bombs to Davis Andrews and Jet Nilsson. They have the capability of doing that.
They could use one now. Story going to throw, no surprise there. Steps up in the pocket, now he's got to run. That's going to burn some clock. He's just going to slide down.
Timeout. Take the timeout.
They do have timeouts if they want to use them, and that shows you their intent here. They understand the urgency I've been talking about.
Well, this doesn't have the feelings of a dink and dunk game, right?
Yeah.
Like, no, let's go. Let's go here. Let's make this happen. They are going to do that. They are going to do that. Absolutely love it.
Let's see what the Cavemen draw up. It's a situation where Skyridge is going to play deep. They're going to be expecting the deep throws. And they'll have extra DBs in here to try to prevent that. All right, they blow the whistle now. 37 seconds left for American Fork here in the first half. Story. Take a shot over the middle. That's intercepted.
Gosh.
That's trouble. Oh, boy. That is the last thing they needed. Tavian Edwards with the pick.
He never saw that safety.
And now they give Skyridge 28 seconds. And the ball in the red zone. That is an absolutely devastating mistake. They needed to be aggressive, but they did not need that.
Oh, gosh. He never saw him at all. Tavian Edwards was camped. I don't even think Tavian moved the entire time. Because he's playing soft this entire drive. He understands American Fork wants to go deep. He never moved. He was there the entire time.
You could tell he didn't see him. He thought he had a guy open. They threw it over the top.
He must have lost him in the sun.
Yep.
Because he didn't see him at all.
Oh, boy. 1st and 10 from the 13.
Stay on the hunt.
Stevens.
Nice. Wide open again.
Touchdown, Skyridge. Stevens to Kalama again. And the Falcons are rolling.
21-0. Get off the sticks. How about that? Kalama, back-to-back touchdowns. 3 beautiful touchdowns by Jackson Stevens. This is amazing football right here. Oh, my gosh. That's an amazing turn of events. 14 points in less than a minute.
And now again, Skyridge gets the ball first to open the second half. That was devastating. We wait patiently for the extra point. 5 seconds to spare. They get it off.
Blocked.
It is blocked. He could have returned that. Wasn't able to do it.
Oof.
So a positive there for American Fork, but small victory. 20-0. The Cavemen trail with 23 seconds left. Oh, the look of the touchdown.
Yeah, I see. That right there is all the route, right? You see them going man-to-man. You go with a post route from the inside, double in route on the outside, post route from the third. That's going to open up that back third. Just a great job right there. Great scheme, great play call. Great combination route right there. You put your number 1 receiver or your most talented, most athletic guy at the number 3 position right there to run that corner route. It's going to come wide open. Great throw, great execution there by Skyridge.
Cavemen are able to return. Nice return out to the 34-yard line.
14 seconds left in the half. Do the Cavemen just run it and go in, or do they try to attack deep? I don't understand how Dylan did not see that guy there. I have to see the replay and see if maybe he was laying on the ground, trying to act like he was invisible.
I don't know about that.
Because he didn't move.
By the way, there's going to victory form. Well, I shouldn't use the word victory formation, but they're going to take a knee. They're going to kill the clock and not chance it again. If you're the Skyridge Falcons, you can tell by the reaction from the crowd, they are just ecstatic. This half could not have gone better for them.
Right.
They were the more physical team and the more dynamic offensively. And they took advantage of a turnover there to get a touchdown. And they lead 20 to nothing. Sorry, the extra point was blocked. A 20 to nothing lead. And right now it feels like a bigger lead than 20. The Skyridge team is tough.
And the reason it feels it is just the last 3 minutes of that game. Right? I mean, there was multiple fourth downs where it was just 7-0 where you would think they would punt it, and they went for it and made it happen. And then they ended up with a score, leaving only 45 seconds left on the clock, and get a monster turnover in the area. Very next play, they get another. That's a, 13-point swing in just a matter of minutes or seconds.
So American Fork will try to regroup. They really don't have any other choice but to try to figure something out. And I just keep mentioning Davis Andrews because that's just a massive loss for them, and I think it is impacting them offensively. I really do. I think that not having him to provide that second deep threat with Jet Nelson has had an impact on them offensively, and they're trying to figure some other things out. But it's really tough when, any team, even in the NFL, you lose one of your best players or even the best player, it's going to have an impact on you. Let's go down to the sideline. Mariluz Cook is standing by.
Coach, you enter the locker room with a 20-0 lead. What do you see as being key to preserving that moving forward?
You know what? Just playing within ourselves, right? Doing the same things that we did that first half, working through our keys on defense, and then running the football on offense. And I think getting behind our big old line will help.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you very much.
Back to you guys.
Thanks, Mariluz. All right, we're going to be back here on the call in 15 minutes. But right now, we're going to send it down to the KSL Sports Rewind guys who will have more on this first half right now.
And welcome back into Rice-Eccles Stadium. Dusty Litster, Dane Stewart, Jeff Hansen. Riley will be back in just a minute to come join us here for our halftime. Guys, first of all, Dane and I say all the time, you don't want us to pick you.
Right.
You do want Jeff Hansen to pick you, however.
Yeah, I'm on a little bit of a run, it looks like, so far.
He's on a heater.
Skyridge, man. I mean, they have been more physical. They've capitalized on opportunities. And defensively, they've really taken away what American Fork wants to do offensively. I talked about it, that I thought Davis Andrews, American Fork has the dudes to withstand that loss on the defensive side of the ball. But what he brings to offense, he's the ability, he's the guy who stretches that defense. He's the one who's able to get behind the safeties. And you've seen AF try to go deep a couple of times, but they just don't have somebody with that speed that Davis Andrews has. And it's sort of made this offense a little bit more predictable, and Skyridge has been able to take advantage of that.
Yeah, really. Go ahead, Dan.
Well, I was just going to say, I think, the other thing for me is that AF just hasn't been able to get any run game going either. I mean, they're trying. Yeah. They're trying to get that ball to Erdley. This is a young man averaging over 5 yards a carry coming in. But, it's got to be 2 or 3 today in this first half. Erdley just hasn't been able to get much going, and that's been a big difference because it's really made AF one-dimensional. And you see the aggressive nature. They're trying to get something late, but then it ends up sticking them in the foot, right? So just has been a first half that hasn't gone their way.
Yeah. Well, it's been really impressive. And I think one of the things that's impressed me, too, is that Skyridge defense. They've just played great, especially up front, right? They've had numbers, and doesn't matter if the numbers are there or not. The Skyridge defense has done a great job of handling the front of that in the trenches.
I can tell you what, motivation is a very powerful thing. I think the controversy surrounding Skyridge and what happened last week has motivated them. They came out with a stated goal of being the aggressor. The entire first quarter, I think 80% of snaps in the first quarter, they brought blitzes. Now they've backed off a little bit, and they're playing a little bit more of a balanced style of football. But boy, this Skyridge defense has come out with a level of intensity that I did not see in the first 2 weeks of the playoffs.
No, it's absolutely true, and I think that us against the world mentality, it works. It's a reason why coaches try to find a way to make that happen, because it is so effective.
Well, this is where I think, give credit to Skyridge defense, because we talked about, not having Andrews is significant, but there's a plethora of other playmakers. Tavian Edwards, anyone?
Yeah,
my goodness, 21 is all over the place today. He's flying around, making a big difference, because there really is not a lot of option for Dylan Story right now to throw to.
The return of La Kalama for Skyridge on offense has been huge. They struggled to get him going a little bit early, but here in that second quarter, you saw those last 2 touchdown catches. He makes this offense completely different.
I mean, Stevens did have that one interception, but he is just playing so much more relaxed because he's got that safety valve right there. He knows that he can go to that playmaker, when all things break down or when in doubt, third down or whatever. He just looks a lot more at ease than he has in previous weeks.
Yeah.
Well, it certainly has. And let's give an absolute shout-out and see if we got the first name. We don't have it on the official stuff. Coach Smith is calling the offense for Skyridge. He's Zane Smith. Yep. Zane Smith calling. He's a JV offensive coordinator. He is the final play caller tonight or today. Bob Stevens has say on the run game and stuff like that, but he is making the final calls. And tell you what, end of the half, he's in his bag right now.
When in doubt, put your best players in a position to go make plays for you, and that's what they've done. And you try and find one-on-ones and matchups, and you put your so play calling is very difficult, but it's mostly what you learn, or at least what I learned when I did it for the season up at Logan High, was you got to get out of your own way. And he, as a calling for the first time at the varsity level, calling a game, it looks like, even though, calling it JV, he learned those lessons that when in doubt, it's not trying to get more complicated or draw up in the sand this perfect play. It's go back to what your team does best. What are we doing best? What's working today? And continue to go back to that well until they stop it. Too many coaches are trying to reinvent the wheel series after series. He's just simply trying to put the ball in his best playmaker's hands, and it's working out for him.
Hey, Dane, what happens in the slot on third down with the Skyridge?
Generally, you love to see a nice little flag route, eh?
That was the last touchdown, and either that or they run the wheel route. Corner Canyon learned that in 17, and it didn't stop. They threw that ball to Palmer at least 100 times in that game to come back to that 26-6 deficit. Now let's take a look at American Fork. And Riley, if you're in the locker room right now and you're Coach Beam, your offense has been shut down, you haven't been able to get over the top, they're playing a shell defense, keeping everything in front. How do you and what do you go back to your principles of getting things where you need to go offensively?
So when you go into halftime and it's clear that the other team is the aggressor, and it didn't happen to me much, but there's times, because I was big on taking the pulse of my team and really making sure we were activated, and making sure we were never caught off guard. But I would say more when I was in situations where at least the team matched my aggressiveness. You don't want to admit that they came out more prepared to play than you, but that's what's happened. You have to have a plan. You don't just want to go out and be like, and your plan is like banging your head against the locker, that we got to go out and be tougher. You got to have a plan. All right, they're heating us up, and they're stacking the box. That means, guys on the edge, we're going to get you the ball in space. You got to win one-on-one matchups with the ball in your hand. Second, when they bring pressure, we're going to be ready, checking the audibles, either from the sideline or your quarterback's got to be able to identify when they're bringing those safeties down and get into your best blitz beaters, which for them, with how they're playing a lot of two tight or two running back, should probably be screens. The screen, play-action screen game, or get some of the hot route stuff over the middle. Now, Story's not a very big guy, and they just haven't thrown a lot of balls between the hashes, but you got to have a plan. Whatever that I just laid out a couple things that I'd be comfortable calling out there, but whatever Story is comfortable with and whatever that offensive set is, but primarily they got to make a play on the edge.
Yeah.
Those guys, they're getting one-on-one coverage, the wideouts versus the corners. Someone's got to make a big play. And granted, the DBs for Skyridge, they're playing good technique. There's only been one pass interference, but a lot of pass breakups and a lot of batted balls. but someone on the edge for American Fork has to decide that once they get their mitts on the ball, they're going to get into the tuck and they're going to make a guy miss and turn a 5-yard throw into a 15-yard gain, because if right now they're losing out on contested balls, not catching them in the first place, and if they are catching them, they're getting tackled where they stand.
Well, I think that's one thing, right? Because, Riley, you talk about it. Their corners are stride for stride. I mean, yeah, the one PI, but they are on every throw. The one that was open couldn't be hauled in because of a late hit from the safety that came over, right? Not a late hit, but he's coming over in support as soon as the ball's there, right?
Yeah.
It's like, you got to make that catch, right? I mean, I understand there's contact there, but to
this
your
is
point,
the semifinals.
Well, it's the semifinal,
big plays,
and there's not a lot of room. So when you get that little bit of room, you got to capitalize on that. And AF just they haven't been able to. It'll be interesting if that block point after gives them a spark. They have to block field goal, right? You have some drop passes. Receivers haven't been able to get separation, haven't been able to run the football. Does that do something for you as you talk about getting a plan, getting a little bit of energy? We'll see.
Go ahead, Jeff.
I'm excited to see what Dylan Story does. He's played really, really well all year long. Now, in American Fork's one loss was that 17-14 game against Lone Peak earlier in the year. When things unraveled a little bit for Dylan Story, he ended up throwing 3 picks in that game, and I think 2 of them came in the second half.
Yes, he did.
When he has been rattled, and it hasn't been often, he hasn't been able to recompose himself. He's going to have to get American Fork
Mayberry had a heyday in the second half of that game.
This Skyridge team has been they've lived their life on the extremes, right? We talked so much in the pregame about that Pleasant Grove. Well, Pleasant Grove had the lead in the matchup last week. When PG and Skyridge met in the regular season, it was Skyridge had the huge lead at half, and they let them back
21-7 in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, and they let them back in the game. So if you're AF, that's another thing that you're saying is like, listen, Skyridge will give us opportunities. We just cannot get down on ourselves. We have to stay in this game. We have to stay assertive. They will give us an opportunity. We have to capitalize on it. We'll be right back in this game heading into the fourth quarter, and then at that point, we got to do what we do.
Some very interesting trends with these two. I alluded to one in our pregame. Skyridge, what's their record? Anyone know the record, Skyridge?
Regular season
10-1.
was
10-2. They're
10-2
overall.
right.
10-2 overall. They're 0-2 when their defense does not force a turnover. They got one.
Yeah.
They're undefeated this year when the defense forces a turnover. Can that play out? Here's the other thing. You talk about the one loss for AF, Story. Only game he didn't throw a touchdown. Only multiple interception game as well. And the only game where they didn't eclipse 200 yards. The offense is not on pace for that for AF. There's a lot of trends playing the way of Skyridge. We'll see if they can overcome that in the second half.
They got to find a way to get it done in the second half, and it's going to be very, very interesting to see where it comes from. Right? If you're there, who would you turn to? If you're American Fork, who is it you're going to try to maybe get some plays, get him going early on to start the second half?
For me, it's Jet Nelson and it's Josh Andrews. They've got to get those guys going. Riley talked about it. There's going to be screens and underneath routes. They don't have that speedster on the outside, so they've got to play to their strength, I think, and that's that tight end game, that big wide receiver game. Find ways to get them open, maybe underneath, over the middle, whatever it is. Let them get the ball and try to make a play, break a tackle.
I said this when we were watching the first half together, is it seems like Skyridge is inviting American Fork to run up the middle, but their guard center guard combo are simply not winning versus the Skyridge tackles. Skyridge is bringing pressure off the edges, deterring the off-tackle runs, and American Fork has given early shots up the middle, but he just hasn't been able to crease them. I think your guard center guard has to make some adjustment, and that's where I would start, simply because the passing game has not still a lot of football left to play. You don't have to sell out completely to the pass game at this point. Come out, try and establish a physical run game up the middle to maybe get some momentum, get those gears greased a little bit. I'd try going to there on that first series.
Early first half, 11 carries, 29 yards.
Yeah.
That's a tough half running the football.
Boy.
And you talk about
That's
this
BYU style. Right there.
Because their offensive linemen are not getting to the second level.
Well,
got to climb.
And total offense for AF is 85 yards in that half. I mean, there's just not a lot there. And the longest throw today is 20 yards. You take those off, Dylan Story is 6 of 17 for 36 yards. If you take off that long of 20.
Yikes.
It's a tough, this Skyridge defense, they brought it, man.
They did.
They came in with a really good, they're playing a lot of two shell, but then they're triggering down for run support late. So the two shell is what's keeping that pass game at bay, but then their D-line is really holding it down, allowing that late run support as they tilt safeties to make an impact in the run game and give that extra box play.
Deshaun Toilolo's having a great
He is.
He is.
And he's keeping his edge, and he's just done an absolutely terrific
and let's
job.
Go one more thing, because you talk about us against the world. There is not a lot of senseless play from Skyridge.
Yes, absolutely. They've kept their motions in check in this game where we wondered if they'd be able to do it. We've seen in the past where it's been a tough spot.
They've walked that line beautifully in this first half.
Yeah, it's interesting to see. Well, let's see, though, if you're AF and you can put some pressure on it, does that rear its ugly head?
Right.
Do those past tendencies rear their ugly head? A lot of intrigue, even though, I know it's 14-7 or
it's
20-0.
20-0,
sorry. It's 20-0, but if you're AF, you can apply some pressure early and things might start. It's a game of swings.
Absolutely. Well, we're going to get ready to set it back up to JJ Inside. We'll be back with our post-game show. Who's going to punch their ticket to the 6A championship game? We'll find out. Let's send it up to JJ Inside. So for Vince Francis, Dane Stewart, Riley Nelson, Jeff Hansen, I'm Dusty Litzner. Thanks for watching the Rewind Halftime Show.
We are 90 seconds away from kickoff here in the second half. Jeremiah Jensen, Stevenson, Sylvester, Mariluz Cook with you. Ready to begin the second half. Some first half stats, Sly. It's pretty interesting. First downs were even almost, 11-7. Skyridge had 11, American Fork 7. The difference, though, is in total offense. Skyridge had 172 yards of total offense. American Fork just 85. And the passing yards is a big difference. 115 for Skyridge and 56 for American Fork. So those are the stats, but what you really have to look at is how that last 3 minutes ended, and that's really where the ball game flipped.
Yeah, these are very evenly matched teams, but, football is all about opportunity, right? And Skyridge just capitalized on opportunity at the end of that half, capitalizing on multiple fourth down conversions, and then getting into the open, having a great play call, great screams, great timing. Honestly, 3 plays, right? You have the interception that happened, the first touchdown to Kalama, and then the second touchdown to Kalama. Those 3 plays are the determinant why this league got so blown open. But these are very evenly matched teams, and Skyridge just capitalized on opportunities when they presented it to them. Not everybody's able to capitalize on those opportunities. Skyridge was able to, and it was huge. It was perfect opportunity for them to take the lead in this game. You want your opponent to be playing from behind, and that's what America's Fork's going to have to do in this second half. They're going to have to be one-dimensional, charge downfield. They haven't had any luck with taking deep shots. Skyridge is playing very, very aggressively, and that's where I think the double move routes are going to happen. You're going to have post corners, corner posts, wheel routes, out and ups, sluggos. I think those are the things that American Fork is going to have to do. But right now, Skyridge is in full control.
And the Falcons will receive the opening kickoff of the second half. It is a touchback, so the Falcons will begin at the 20-yard line as we begin third quarter action.
Yeah, very interested to see how the play call does Skyridge stay aggressive, which they have been all season. They're a team that's used to putting up big, big points. So there's no reason to put your foot off the gas. But in this game where I thought, because your play caller is missing, I thought they were going to run the ball. They've had great success with a good mix of run and pass, but how they've gotten to the end zone, they've put the ball in Jackson Stevens' hands and let him sling it.
Very important series here for the American Fork defense. Stevens going to hand off to Sheffield. And a good start for that American Fork defense. They only give up about 2 yards on the carry to Sheffield. So slide another touchdown or points in any form for Skyridge would be devastating here for the Cavemen, who trail by 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, it's already a 3-possession game, and making it 4 is just so daunting at any point. So defensively, they got to make a play, either score on defense here, get a strip sack.
Stevens over the middle. Catch is made in traffic. Excellent effort, and that's Jack Burke, who's been doing that all season long. He's having a great season as a senior in this Skyridge offense.
Yeah, it just seems like Skyridge has just worked the crap out of the RPO game. Jackson Stevens just understands how to read it. He's not really forcing it in, but if it's there, he makes it happen. And then those receivers catching the ball in traffic is huge.
Sheffield breaks tackles. He's close to the marker, gets 9 yards on the first down carry.
Great run.
First and 10 from the 44. Back to Sheffield. That's working.
Yeah.
Another first down. Sheffield's into American Fork territory. Skyridge grinding it on this drive, with the exception of that pass over the middle to Burke. Sheffield getting the work, and he's making it work for the Skyridge offense. This could be a backbreaker for American Fork.
Yeah.
You're starting to worry about how long can this defense hold up with the frustration of the offense not being able to score points. This is a tough spot for them.
Yeah, because now they're running the ball really effectively here, getting 4 or 5 yards per rush right here. That big RPO first down that they picked up, and Sheffield's just been running the ball with extreme effectiveness.
Zayden Selu with the carry there. 2nd and 6 from the 39. It's Selu again, and he's right at the marker. He's still going. He's got a first down. Whether it's Sheffield or Selu, these backs are playing really well here to open the third quarter. Gashing this defense. Sidearm throw by Stevens to Kalama. Catch is made. It's a positive gain. On first down, they're going to give him 4 yards to the 27. Sheffield wrapped up, so that's going to force third down.
Yeah, it doesn't really feel like they were trying to attack on that. They were really trying to establish this run. But that's what's crazy about play calling, right? Is you got to kind of lull them to sleep. Run, run, run. Oh, this is basic. This is basic. And then they hit you with one of those route concepts that you're just like, whoa, where did that come from? Skyridge is in full control right now.
Third and 6 from the 27. Stevens, plenty of time to throw. Over the middle, wide open, Kalama, touchdown Skyridge, 27 yards. The Falcons in complete control of this football game.
Hat trick for Kalama.
What a game
One,
for Kalama.
Great job by Jackson Stevens at moving the defense. Making them think on the left side, short side, and then coming back to the post right there with Kalama. As I said, lull you to sleep, and then hit you with that big, big play right there. Full control for the Skyridge football team. Great job, looking off, coming back, pinpoint pass to Kalama. Great route. See, that's a double move right there. He did an out and up, made that defense bite on it. Great job by Kalama. He did a corner post right there. Kalama, very quick, athletic receiver. Great hands, as you can tell. Put Skyridge up 27-0. Kalama with the hat trick.
The Falcons have scored touchdowns on their last 3 possessions to break this game open. Up 27-0.
All Kalama.
The Cavemen now have a lot of pressure on their offense to get something going, or this game's going to turn into a blowout.
Yeah, this is going to get very ugly. They got to put their big boy pants on and make it happen.
Touchback, they'll start at their own 20.
Let's see. Game isn't over. I can get 4 possessions to make it happen. One is 27-0. So if I get 28-27, that's still a win, right? And so this game is not over, not at all. But they got to go.
Erdley's going to run. And when we were setting up this game slide before the broadcast began, or before the game began on the broadcast, we talked about Erdley and how important it was for American Fork for him to have a big game. And for Skyridge, the importance of shutting him down. And Skyridge has done an excellent job bottling up Erdley, who's a 1,200-yard back this season. And he does not have a run for longer than 6 yards in this game.
Yeah, that front seven has done a tremendous job. The way these linebackers have played the run has been absolutely tremendous.
Tavian Edwards with a stop.
Look at them. They are all over these receivers. Nobody's able to get open. Maybe that's the thing. Is, as I said, you can put somebody in the place that is capable, but nobody's going to have that spark of Davis Andrews, right? Of getting open, getting loose, that fearless person to instill that type of motivation in your team. He's a big, big reason why I think they're down in this football game.
Story takes a snap on 3rd and 7. Steps in the pocket. He's clobbered in the backfield. He's sacked by number 47, Kopo Malafau.
Hey, the linebacker play today has been absolutely amazing. On the delayed blitz, Jackson Fitton coming through, making that happen. Pressure off the edge by Malafau. It's just been, I can't say enough about the Skyridge defense today. They're playing extremely aggressive, making it known. They mean business. And then complimenting with the offense. The offense, you know, was that's terrible. The referee mic's not that clear, but I think it's unsportsmanlike conduct on American Fork after that play.
There was an upset coach on the sideline. Something got him upset. Drew a flag.
No, Columba's not afraid to catch the ball in traffic.
No. No intention to fair catch any balls. No fear. So the Falcons will take over in American Fork territory. 27-0. Skyridge leads American Fork. We'll be right back.
Feeling hurt? Uncomfortable standing, walking, or running? Salt Lake Running Company offers free custom shoe fittings. With an assortment of functional footwear and inserts, we've got solutions to help you have your best workout, work day, or work escape. For over 25 years, SLRC's award-winning customer service has helped people find the perfect personalized fit that keeps them comfortably moving. Visit us at one of our locations along the Wasatch Front or shop online at slrc.com today.
If you want to avoid your AC breaking down this summer, the best thing you can do is stay on top of your AC's annual maintenance. But if you do find yourself with an air conditioner blowing hot air, Any Hour Services technicians service all brands, and they can usually get to you pretty quick. Call Any Hour Services or schedule online at anyhour.com. Whether you need maintenance, repair, or replacement, the technicians at Any Hour Services can help you keep your home comfortable all summer long. Call Any Hour Services or schedule online at anyhour.com.
At UCCU, we'll provide you with a low-rate line of credit that makes it easy to access the equity in your home with no fees or closing costs.
Simply complete an application on your phone or computer and select the low-rate option you prefer.
And then sit back and enjoy the peace of mind that comes from knowing you have a low-rate line of credit. Ready for whatever life throws at you.
To learn more or start your application, visit uccu.com or stop by any branch.
Welcome back to Rice-Eccles Stadium. These two teams played each other on October 13th in region action. The Cavemen on their home field beat Skyridge 34-27. And it went to overtime. And guess who scored the touchdown in overtime to win it?
Davis Andrews.
Yes. They've really missed Davis Andrews today. I'm not making excuses for American Fork. but they've just really been missing their leader on both sides of the ball today. Catch is made for a very, very short gain. That's Trevin McClellan, who is the Falcons' leading receiver this season. Gets a yard. They're actually not even going to give him the yard. It'll be 2nd and 10 from the 44. Stevens, the RPO again. Sheffield takes it, and Sheffield's driven back. Nice play on defense. That's Max Edwards, the safety, the senior. 6 feet, 195, comes up and makes a nice stop.
It's a 3rd and long here. So they might. Nah, they got a good box.
Third and 11. Sheffield in motion. They send the blitz. Ooh, threw it just behind Burke. Incomplete pass.
Brought the pressure from the strong side, made him run out to the other side while all the receivers were going strong. He had absolutely no receivers out to the right and where he was drifting, so he had to throw that back. Ended up being behind the receiver. Ooh, high kick.
Punt is short and then takes a American Fork
Go get
bounce.
it. Go get it.
That's a live ball.
Yeah. If I was American Fork, go get it. There's no Skyridge players around.
You could have ran that for a bit.
At least 10 yards.
So instead, it's going to be down at the 27-yard line. There is a flag on the field.
Looks like offsides or
not sure why.
Illegal formation. Not enough guys on the line. No.
They brought the pressure. American Fork was trying to get the block. You like the aggressiveness there.
All right.
They need a play. They need
something.
They need big plays, quick scores to get back in this game.
And they got to do it fast because going slow here, you're not going to score 28 points taking your time.
Yeah.
You need defensive turnovers.
Substitution.
So it looks like it's on American Fork, but wait for the call.
Going to re-kick it.
No substitution against the defense. 5-yard penalty, replay 4th down.
Yeah, that's smart because it's like only a 20-yard kick if he doesn't. So you get to re-punt it. Pin him a little deeper.
Trent Call handling punt duties for Skyridge. Gets it off.
Just got to get out of bounds.
Much better result for Skyridge.
Yeah, it's punting deep here, but American Fork's got to go. They got to dial up something. You got Andrus at the tight end position. You can use seam routes with. You gotta go empty, be aggressive. Dylan Story's gotta shake off whatever he's been rattled with.
Jet Nelson needs to make a play here.
He's got to.
They got to go to Jet. They got to try to give him a shot, give him another chance.
Jet is one of those guys who can make those plays. He's just got to do it. Nice. That's what he should have did on the first drive.
There you go. Andrus with the catch.
Waited for it to come open.
Powering his way past the 30-yard line all the way to the 32.
Great job.
That's a gain of 20 yards. That's exactly what they need.
Yeah.
Well executed.
They got to go now. No time to huddle. You got to go. You need 4 possessions here to make that happen. You got 4 minutes left to go in the third. It's a good pickup. Let's go. The substitution. Skyridge a little discombobulated.
Oh, and we got a false start on American Fork. setback for them. They had things going there. So instead of 2nd and 4, it'll be 2nd and 9. From the 33. Story rolls right. They've got him rolling now, and it's helping him a bit. Out to the 40. That'll set up 3rd and manageable.
All right. They got to go here.
And they are, you see the urgency is there.
Yeah, which is what they honestly, I know it sucks because Skyridge just took so much time at the beginning of this 3rd quarter, but they should have had this urgency back in the 2nd quarter.
Take a shot.
Nice.
It's there. Max Edwards has it.
Nice.
The catch is made inside the 30 all the way down to the 22-yard line. Beautiful. Number 4, Max Edwards, comes into the game. He's playing safety as well on defense, but he makes the biggest play for the Cavemen on offense all day.
Yeah, it's exactly what they need. You have the ability to challenge them deep. That's a penalty. They went off the ground. Okay, running.
Story's got room to run now.
Slide. Nice.
Slides down inside the 20, down to the 18-yard line.
He wasn't off the field right there. But
Skyridge got away with one there.
Hey, they're going up tempo here, which is exactly what you need.
They need 4 touchdowns minimum. They got to start with 1. Story, Erdley, nothing there. Bounces back to the middle, powers his way past the 15 down to the 13-yard line. That is 1 yard short of the first down marker. Clock will continue to run. We're under 3 minutes to play 3rd quarter.
3rd down. Yeah, man, this is the semifinals. You're going to need every down. Picked up that 1st down.
That'll move the chains, and now they can focus on getting into the end zone.
They got to get right back on it. Andrus in the slot, number 2 receiver. Let's see what they do here.
Into the end zone, caught, touchdown.
Nice.
The Cavemen find the end zone for the first time in this game and starting to build some momentum.
It's exactly what you need. Great tempo, great play calling, great job by Dylan Story. You know, as I said, the first half, it's like he didn't look like himself. That wasn't the things you needed to do. He was throwing the ball early. It was off tempo. He wasn't making great pre-snap reads. All the things we were not used to seeing from him this year. But that drive looked a lot more like Dylan Story, so he's got to keep that up.
Landon Payne with the touchdown. The extra point is good. Landon Payne was so excited he took the ball with him all the way to the bench.
Offsides on the defense.
Here's another look at the Landon Payne touchdown.
Nice. Great work right there. So the defense was offsides on the extra point.
Defense.
And so American Fork is putting their offense back out there to see if they can convert this. 2-point conversion here. Offsides again.
That'll get them closer. Now let's explain the math on why this is important. If you get it to 8, it's 27 to 8.
Number 90 of the defense. Half the distance to the goal, still the try.
If you were able to score 2 more touchdowns to get the 2-point conversions, that gets you to 24. It'd be a 3-point game. So there is analytical value to this move. And it's not, oh, it does, the second effort. How about that? He was dead to rights, and that second effort gets him across the plane. The 2-point conversion is good.
Great work right there. As you said, the second effort makes that happen.
That's Dax Watts with the 2-point conversion.
As I said, I know Davis Andrews is gone, but these guys have weapons.
Yes.
And we saw that when they played Lehigh earlier this year. They were spreading
Dax
the ball.
Watts is one of them.
Yes, he's one of them. Andrus is one of them. Jet Nielsen. They got people to throw the ball to. As you said, Max Edwards came into the game with that big catch on that drive right there. One-on-one coverage on the outside, speed. Defense couldn't keep up with great angle. They got weapons to throw the ball, but it starts at that quarterback position. If Dylan Story can play the way he played on that drive, they can get back into this football game. It is not over. Right? It's a 19-point lead right now. Your defense can step up the way they just stepped up on that and force that punt. Seen crazier things,
yes,
right?
we have.
Craziest thing I think I've seen that I can say that I've seen crazier things was that Corner Canyon Lone Peak game we called back in 2018, 2019. I forgot what year it was. Where it was like routed off 17 points in a matter of 60 seconds, something like that, from Corner Canyon. It was absolutely amazing. But here, American Fork has 2 minutes left to go in the third quarter. This is very much at hand. If they can play the way that they've been playing, having a 3-and-out against Skyridge, stopping that run for Skyridge, stopping the RPO game for Skyridge, getting the ball back to Dylan Story and making that comeback, staying aggressive, they can make it happen.
Got to get stops, need big plays. You can't run Eardley 20 times and get it done.
No.
The game plan you probably came in here with
is gone.
It's got to be altered quite a bit. You've got to be more explosive. You got to take some shots. But yes, you're right. We have seen crazy things, and this American Fork team is here for a reason. They were the #1 seed in this postseason for a reason. We mentioned how big they are on offense. All their starters, with the exception of the quarterback, 200 pounds or more. That includes the receivers and the tight end. They've got size, and they can make things happen. So now they have a little bit of momentum. Now that defense, you hope, that'll spark some energy on that side. The defensive side of the ball for American Fork looked a little defeated on that last possession for Skyridge. Let's see what they can do here. The return by Trent Call out to the 24-yard line. So that's where Skyridge will start this drive. So 2:03 left to play here in the third quarter. Now, if you're Skyridge, Sly, this is a chance to drive a dagger in their heart and have a nice sustained drive here where you score. That could do it.
I mean, sustained is the biggest word there. They gotta eat up clock. That is huge. They gotta stay aggressive, but they got to take advantage of every single play, which means eat up all of the play clock on every play.
Stevens to Sheffield. They're running it. Sheffield almost got to the outside. He stopped at the 30. It's a nice run. He'll get 6 yards on that, but he was close to breaking outside. Nice patient run by Sheffield.
Good job. Got to make sure they stay and respect the running game, because there's something that they're not going away from. They have ran it early and often in this game.
Stevens takes a shot.
Great throw.
To the left side. And it's Jack Burke for a first down. It's a nice gain.
Yeah, that's a hard route. That's a corner route from the slot position. The only person that could get that is if that corner came off of his man with eyes on the QB to stop that. The safety's inside, so it's hard. But that corner, if he saw that earlier and dropped, he's the only person that could stop that play. That is a great play, but a great throw by Jackson Stevens.
1st and 10 from the 43. More Sheffield. He's stacked up quickly. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. Skyridge will run more clock. One minute left to play in the third quarter. We'll run this down to 40 seconds if they choose to. They'll take their time. Stevens has trips to his right. And that's where he'll look to throw.
Great tackle
American
catch.
Fork does a great job.
Incomplete. Great job.
Good defense. McClellan could not hold on to it.
Right. Good job. Well, that's good because that stopped the clock, right? I said that they're trying to eat up every possession here.
Stevens going to keep.
Great play call.
And he gets all the way to midfield.
Well, that's good.
It's 3 yards short of the sticks.
That's going to be the end of the quarter here. They're going to punt this football. And we're going to try to draw them off sides.
Punting, are you kidding me?
Don't jump. Don't jump.
Skyridge punt.
They're gonna take this to the end of the quarter.
And America Fork has to be savvy enough to understand what they're doing. They even sent a guy in motion to try to get him to move, and they do not. So that is the end of the third quarter. We have a 4th and 3 at midfield when we return with fourth quarter action. For now, let's go down to Mariluz Cook, who's having a good time.
Jeremiah, you know I'm always having a good time. I'm here with Jake and Gavin. Now, Skyridge is notorious for their student section. They usually have a DJ. The only school in the state that has a DJ in their student section. How are you making up for not having a DJ today in the stands with you?
Hey, no DJ, no problem for us, baby. Keep that energy up. We keep the energy high. We do lots of chants. We keep the energy going. Let's get it.
Okay. Definitely a lot of energy here. Gavin, you're telling me that there are a lot more people here today than normally are in your student section. Why was it important to make the trip to Rice-Eccles?
It's just such a big game, the semis. This is what we live for as a student section. We're all the way up to the top today. The energy is here. We bring it. Let's go Falcons!
Okay, well, there you heard it, guys. There you heard it. It's a good time in the student section. Had to bring the energy. They sure did that. Back to you guys.
Pray for Mary Lou's. That's a rowdy section.
Yes.
Let's hope she returns safely to the sideline. Worried about her.
Gavin sounds like Dave Franco. He's very excited over there. I just got done watching the After Party series.
Okay.
On Apple TV, so that's why that came up. But
there's your reference.
Yes, the student section is rowdy, excited, especially with weather today. Can we get a better day of football? This is absolutely awesome.
This is perfection. It doesn't get any better than this in mid-November in Utah.
Yes.
It's beautiful.
Yes. It's great being down there on the side. Like if I was one of the players on the team, I would just be like, man, I couldn't have asked for a better time. Get to miss school on Friday.
Oh, yeah.
Play early in the sun at Rice-Eccles Stadium. Got my student section behind me. Yeah, this is perfect.
Skyridge is 12 minutes away from getting a chance to defend their 6A championship 1 week from today, right here at Rice-Eccles Stadium. They will await the winner. If they're able to hold on to this win, they would meet the winner. The winner of this game, I should say, meets the winner of Corner Canyon and Lehigh. That is our next game. That game will kick off at 2:30 right here on KSL Sports. Multiple ways to watch this game. You can watch it on KSL Plus in your living room. So those of you doing that right now, we appreciate you watching in your homes or in your office. You can watch it on the KSL Sports app wherever you go with your mobile device. And if you're at work with your laptop or wherever you are with a computer, you can watch this on KSLSports.com.
Are they missing somebody?
Yeah, they have some issues.
Yeah, that's...
High punt. Great punt by Trent Call. Fair catch signaled.
Oh,
dropped it,
gosh.
recovered it.
Well, take the penalty and make him re-kick it.
Yeah, for sure.
Make him re-kick it.
That was dicey.
The sun's over there. So
those long TV breaks.
Yes.
Maybe got everybody a little lax there. That's tough to have a personnel issue after a 3-minute timeout. But.
Well, I saw offensive linemen out there confused, and they were running off.
5-yard penalty, replay 4th down.
Yeah.
So the Cavemen will get a second shot at a return here. Trent Call will punt again. That was a great punt by Trent Call.
Yes, it was.
And almost a disaster for American Fork.
He's got to catch this. Honestly, you want to catch it on the run, get a great return.
Another good punt, fair catch here, and he catches it cleanly. And they will start their drive at the 28-yard line. All right, Cavemen need to be quick, but they got some momentum after that touchdown on their last drive. They've cut this lead down to 19. There's a chance. And a touchdown, quick touchdown here would make things interesting.
So, Jeremiah, you're saying there's a chance.
It might be 1 in 2 million, but it is still a chance. No, the Cavemen have a much better chance than that. Those of you watching know the reference there. Taking a shot deep. That is flagged. That's what you're looking for.
He wasn't even close to the ball, but the defender had no idea where the ball was. So, one, defensive-wise, it could have been like, okay, I'm going to save a big play by doing a pass interference call.
Pass interference, defense number 24. 15-yard penalty from the previous spot, resulting in a 1st down.
You have to know American Fork is going aggressive right here. That's huge. That's 15 yards. One, they had a penalty on the punt, made them re-punt it. Got a way better position because it was a worse punt. Now you get a 15-yard penalty on top of that. Remember,
feels a lot like their last drive.
Yeah, he muffed that punt down around the 6-7 yard line. So with that penalty, they re-kicked it, and now this 15-yard.
Story on the screen. Nice move inside. Good pickup on 1st down, about 5 yards, 6 yards. Jet Nelson with the catch. Another look. Well executed.
Yeah, we said that Jet is somebody.
Story over the middle. Catch is made, 1st down. Andrus with the catch. So the Cavemen have some momentum going here. This is interesting. They're moving quick. 11 minutes left.
Max Edwards down here on the bottom. I think they're going to attack that soon. Wow, best run of the day right there.
Jacob Erdley near the marker. It's just short.
This is all tempo right here. You're getting Skyridge out of whack. It's what you want to do. Got the safety over top. It looks like they're just playing cover 2.
Over the middle again, tipped. We've got a flag.
This is what we saw early in that game. Their defense is extremely aggressive. They're all over those guys. So now the refs are calling. That's another defensive holding or pass interference. They're going to get on this. That's another 10, 15 yards. And look at this. Only a minute and a half has gone off the clock.
This is exactly what American Fork needed.
Holding on the defense, number 17. 10 yards from the previous spot, resulting in a 1st down.
But they got to punch it in there. They got to finish.
Yes, they got to finish.
But a finish here makes things really interesting.
Yeah, well, I mean, they're facing the right direction, right? The receivers won't have any sun in their eyes catching the football.
1st and 10 from the 22. Story, hot right now, goes to the left, and it's caught. Jet Nelson.
2 feet inbounds, Tony toe tap. I see you, Jet. I like that play. Dylan Story is the story right now. He is playing great. The balls that he's throwing is extremely accurate. They're out early, exactly where their receivers need it to be. I think he likes this up-tempo.
Trips on the boundary. He's going to throw it that way. Going to the end zone.
Nice. That's
caught.
He got the foot in.
Is he in? Yes! Touchdown!
He got the foot in.
Cavemen! Kate Wilkinson! We got a game!
Only 1 minute and 30 seconds have gone off the clock.
They're going to go for 2. They're going to try to go for 2. This would cut it to 11.
I would just do student body left. Just have a caravan of blockers out in front of you, out on the edge. Look how much room is out there on the left side right there.
American Fork's big up front. They got road graders. Let's see what they go with here. They're going to roll right, throw it. Incomplete, so they don't get the 2-point conversion. He was going for Dax Watts.
Yes.
So they come up short, but still, they're only down 13 now.
Right.
It's a 2-touchdown game. With 10:32 left, this game is far from over. What a response from the Cavemen, down 27-0. They score 14 unanswered, and now some pressure goes back on the Skyridge offense. They go 3 and out. The Cavemen are going to have a chance to do something here.
Yes. As I said, this defense needs to step up now, right? The offense has done their part the last 2 drives, getting to the end zone, scoring 14 points really quickly, because Skyridge took a lot of that third quarter up with possession. But these last 2 drives by the American Fork offense have been quick, concise, and gotten to the end zone. Exactly what you want. Great outcomes. I just hope it's not too little too late. You know, they got 10 minutes and 30 seconds, plenty of time to score 2 touchdowns. But their defense needs to step up here. One with the turnover, which would be good. Skyridge got a big turnover at the end of the first half. Now it's time for American Fork defense to do the same if they want to get back in this football game. So a turnover for this American Fork defense, or really quick 3 and outs.
Sly, you can't help but think back at the end of that first half, giving up the touchdown late and then turning around, giving up the interception and another touchdown. That honestly is the difference in this game right now.
Yes.
Otherwise, this would be a tight, close contest, just like we had expected. But now the Cavemen closing that gap, showing some fight. They get a stop here, and things get really interesting. And they're capable. We see now what they can do on offense.
There's a reason why they won their region. I think that's the hardest region in football right now. And American Fork won that region.
Yep.
They are a dynamic offense. I know they're missing Davis Andrews, but they got weapons. They have weapons. They can make it happen. And they're showing that fight right now. And in a game of ebb and flow, they are flowing right now. Good kick, good kick.
That is going to be a touchback. So Skyridge will start at the 20. So now, Sly, your Skyridge offense, they've lost some of that momentum, and you know it's just part of the game sometimes. Human nature, I don't know what you want to chalk it up to, but you lose that edge, you lose I guess you take the foot off the gas is what you could say a little bit.
Now you think it's in the bag.
Yeah, you're just getting, I guess the word is complacent and relaxed. You
Yes.
these guys have got to get the juice back and finish this off.
Don't be comfortable, right? This is exactly what American Fork wants right now, is for them to think that they have it in the bag, and American Fork's going to come back in this game.
Okay, 10:32 left to play. Skyridge with a 27-14 lead. 1st and 10 from the 20, and we have a flag already.
Delay a game. This is not where you want to go.
Wow.
Oh, they called timeout.
They did.
Okay.
So before the flag, they're going to give them timeout, which is interesting. You know, we saw yesterday, Alta, I think, would have some regret about the early timeouts they used in that second half, because they turned out they needed them with the final minute. So it doesn't seem like a big deal now, but you want those timeouts when you need them, and so they have to take one here early in the fourth quarter. Right now they don't need them, but we will see.
I mean, it was the same thing. You're right. Alta used them early, didn't think that they would need them. Next thing you know, Bountiful comes firing back at the end of that game with plenty of timeouts to use to their advantage. And it was a beautifully orchestrated, and Alta ended up with none, allowing Bountiful to get all the way to the state finals next week. So, as you said, this game isn't over. There's 10 minutes and 32 seconds left.
Okay, here we go. 1st and 10 from the 20. 10:32 left to play. Stevens going deep, takes a shot. Jack Burke's got it. Burke is wrapped up at the 25. Skyridge goes for the kill shot.
Yes, they do.
And they get it.
You had to understand that they were going at, look how open this was. Pre-snap, you see it. They loaded everybody up to the short side of the field, and they spreaded the X receiver all the way out to the bottom of the numbers the other way. ISO coverage, safety was deep inside, all by itself. Great throw by Jackson Stevens, but great route right there. And getting open.
Now they're going to go to Sheffield. He swallowed up quickly, but Skyridge is going to burn some clock now. That was a huge play. Right out of the gate, 1st and 10. Drop a bomb on that American Fork defense, and they weren't ready for it. Great catch by Jack Burke. And they're in position now to finish this off. Stevens with 2nd and 11. Going to take his time. They're going to burn more clock. We're down to.
I said that's what you got to do. You got to stay in bounds, stretch that play clock as much as possible. Here they go.
Stevens, plenty of time in the pocket, over the middle. Wide open, caught. Trevin McClellan down to the 2.
Oof. Yeah. Skyridge is letting them know they're still in control here. Oh my gosh. Great throw, great catch. Way to finish that off.
So it took 3 plays for them to go from the 20 to the 2.
But they're staying aggressive, which is what you want to do. If you're scoring points, you can't go touchdown for touchdown and think you're going to win this game. It's just not going to work. You're already up 27-0.
2nd and goal, first to go for the 2. It's caught, touchdown. Skyridge with the touchdown, it's Burke.
I literally thought.
He had the 65-yard catch earlier in the drive. It started with him and it ends with him. Jack Burke with the touchdown, and it's 33-14.
Zane Edwards had it read.
Yeah.
You had the interception.
It was close.
I thought he had the interception. I was going, ooh, I thought he had the interception. And he lets him rip it away from him for the touchdown. Oh.
The extra point is good. And Skyridge is back up
by 20.
By 20.
Oh my gosh, Zane Edwards. I thought he had it here. He had it read. He had it read like the Seattle Patriots Super Bowl right there. When Butler jumped in front of Russell Wilson's pass. Look, he's right there.
Oh, he almost had it.
He's right there. I thought he had that one.
No, that would have made.
That would have been great, right?
Big difference in this game. My goodness, that would have been a momentum swing. That close sometimes.
It really is. It
truly is a game of inches.
It really is. He did a great job of reading that route. Jackson Stevens still threw the ball. But you got to give credit to these receivers, these skill players that coming through. Sure-handed and making plays, putting this team back up by 20. Media timeout.
Let's take one as well. 8:49 left to play. We'll be right back after this.
Salt Lake Running Company is inspiring our community to move with purpose, embrace adventure, and consciously connect to their bodies. Exercise is essential now more than ever. Take control of the chaos and make time for you. From the gym to the trail, SLRC can help you find the focus to define your finish line. Visit any of our locations along the Wasatch Front or shop online at slrc.com.
At UCCU, we'll provide you with a low-rate line of credit that makes it easy to access the equity in your home with no fees or closing costs. Just complete an application on your phone or computer or stop by any branch.
helps more homeowners than any Hour Services. If you want to avoid your AC breaking down this summer, the best thing you can do is stay on top of your AC's annual maintenance. But if you do find yourself with an air conditioner blowing hot air, Any Hour Services technicians service all brands, and they can usually get to you pretty quick. Call Any Hour Services or schedule online at anyhour.com. Whether you need maintenance, repair, or replacement, the technicians at Any Hour Services can help you keep your home comfortable all summer long.
Kickoff is live. Nice return out past the 30. So the Cavemen will start at the 33-yard line, and American Forks just got to keep chopping wood. We've talked about it. Crazy things can happen. Still 8:43 left. They need 3 scores, though. So they'll have to act quick. You need to get a score here and hope your defense can force something.
Let's see what they do.
Story to Jet Nelson. Nelson's tackled at the 36-yard line.
Great decision. You know, he wanted to go to Andrus there, but it was all covered up, so comes back to his late check down. And gosh, he's a big receiver.
6'5". Story again to Nelson. His forward progress gets him to the 38.
I think that's Dean right there.
Was that Dean?
Yeah.
Sorry, that's Dean. Jacob Dean with the catch. Catch is made. First down. Andrus with the catch. That puts him at the 46-yard line. New set of downs. Down to 7:30 left in the game. Story steps up in the pocket. Now he's going to run. Now he slides. He's past midfield. Down to the 49-yard line of Skyridge. Now Scory's flushed out of the pocket. He's going to take a shot to the left. Incomplete. Throws it away. That'll stop the clock.
Receiver's got to uncover. You see him scrambling right there? Go deep. Something. Honestly, he should have kept that and picked up some more yards to be closer to the first down. Nice.
Catch made. Andrus again. Inside the 35, down to the 33-yard line.
Going empty here. I like this tempo. This is great tempo right here. They are ready to go.
Empty backfield, 5 receivers for Story. Open, caught. Turns and gets inside the 20.
This is not the Dylan Story we saw in that first quarter. He is playing very well, throwing the ball very effectively. That right there was a very long throw, and he made that completion. Great timing with it, got it out of his hands right when he needed to, allowing his receiver to catch the ball and turn the field.
Jace Orton was the receiver. Story over the middle. Down inside the 5. Down to the 4. So Jacob Dean with the second catch on the drive. Down to the 4. They're doing what they need to do offensively here.
Yeah.
We're coming up on 6 minutes left. They'll hurry. They'll try to get into the end zone by the 6-minute mark here.
Man,
Story quickly outside. Made the catch, but could not get a foot down. That was Jet Nelson. The official bit the dust. It's incomplete.
Yeah, he had a guy open. It was man coverage when you see those linebackers stick in with the running back in the backfield, and them linebackers are sticking. They're going man coverage right there. And so they did a nice combination route with an in route that came wide open. He just looked to the wrong side. But, I mean, Jet Nelson's out there. You know, 6'5" body, you want to get him the football.
Nelson now in motion, so all their receivers to the left. Takes a shot at Nelson. Overthrows him. It was there. He just overthrew it.
Yeah, on that, I almost want to throw at him.
Yep.
And have him catch it right in the face mask, and he fell right in the end zone. That's what I would have did.
6:02.
Third down now.
Left to play. Third and goal from the 4. Story over the middle.
Nice.
Caught. Touchdown. Jet Nelson.
As I said, they were going man coverage, so those linebackers were staying in there. So what they did with the running back is they swung the running back out so that linebacker vacated that spot. They brought the 6'5" receiver right in there on a slant. You throw it up high where nobody can get it. Touchdown, American Fork. That was great play call right there. Great execution by Dylan Story and Jet Nelson. It's crazy. You just kind of expected this from them earlier in this football game.
The extra point is good. And once again, the Cavemen are within 2 scores, a 13-point lead now for Skyridge. There's another look at the Jet Nelson touchdown.
Yep, linebacker vacated. That spot comes open. 6'5" receiver, put it up around his head. Nobody else is going to get that. Great job. And we know that, right? Like, Tavian Everett has been playing an amazing game, right? He's been over Jet Nelson for the majority of this game. But there's something you can't do about 6'5".
No. So 5:57 left to play. 34-21. Skyridge leads American Fork. So the Cavemen offense keeps them in it. Now they need their defense to make something happen, because the Cavemen still need 2 possessions. They got to find a way to get those 2 possessions without giving up any more points. And for Skyridge, they want to keep the pressure on here offensively and kill that clock. The Falcons did a great job on that last drive marching down the field, but they did it really fast.
Yes, they did. Which, I mean,
nothing wrong with that.
There's nothing wrong. You can
Absolutely
score.
Nothing wrong with that.
You had a
scored.
27-0 lead. Now you got a 13-point lead. If you're exchanging touchdowns, so what?
Exactly.
Right? But the problem is if Zane Edwards would have came up with that interception in the end zone, that would have been huge.
Oh, yeah.
Because American Fork offense right now just...
They're in rhythm.
They are in rhythm. They are moving the
some
ball.
Things out. Yep.
Doing chunk here, chunk there. Right? They are moving the ball the way you expected them to. But you can't exchange touchdown for touchdown here. No. You just can't do it. Defense needs to come up big here for American Fork.
Let's see if American Fork tries to use that Skyridge aggressiveness against them. You saw that Skyridge offense being very aggressive on that last drive.
Yes.
The Cavemen defense, if I'm being quite honest, needs to force a turnover here to get the ball back to their offense quickly. They can't allow a long sustained drive or another score here. It's got to be quick. They need a 3-and-out or a turnover here. And if they can get that, things would get very, very interesting. Will the Cavemen try an onside kick? Yes, they will. And Skyridge is ready.
That needed another bounce.
Yep.
And they did a great job. They made Skyridge think that, we're all going to do the middle dribble. But no, he ended up back outside. but it needed another big hop. And those onside kicks are so hard.
Yeah.
As much as kickers practice them, you can still never get it perfectly right off the tee. So very hard. But if he had one of those with a high bounce, that would have actually worked out. And I think that's what he was looking for. But again, this is all about the American Fork defense right here. Honestly, I would have kicked it deep, because if they punt it and you pin them down there, then you got a short field to work with, and you can score quickly that way. Or Sky kicked it or something.
Yeah, like I said, now you're hoping for a 3-and-out or a forced turnover here.
Right. They're going to run the football.
Yep, Sheffield.
Eat up that clock.
It gets stopped, but I don't think Skyridge cares. They're going to burn some more clock.
Yeah, that was Selu on
No, they're not.
carry.
American Fork's going to call their timeouts now. They're going to use those timeouts right now, which you figure is pretty smart.
So that's right.
Yeah.
From
a strategy
always
standpoint, explain why this is smart.
Yeah, I don't know. I've always wanted to use my timeouts early like this,
Yes.
but I think it works because of they're down by 13, not the traditional 7.
Right.
If you're down by 7, then you wait until that. But you're down by 13. I need the ball back now.
Yes.
Because I need to do another onside kick anyway and get it later. So use my timeouts now. Make sure that I can even get within 7 or 6, whatever that's going to be. And so I like this. I've always wanted to know how it would play out if I use my timeouts earlier in the quarter when I need to get the football back instead of later. So I like this story. I'm waiting for it to play out. I've been waiting for this situation.
Let's see how it goes for American Fork. 5:52 on the clock. Skyridge leads 34-21. Second down and 9 from the 44.
Selu with the
run,
carry.
They get the stop. Nice run on second down. They're going to mark him at the 47.
Timeout again. And
Now, if you're Skyridge, you
got to make a decision. You got to be aggressive. Apparently, your defense can't stop their offense.
Well, yeah, and if you're going to be conservative here, you're playing right into their hands.
Yes.
You haven't been conservative for 1 second in this game. Now's not the time. The aggression that they've showed multiple times in this game, 2 fourth-down conversions in the second quarter were huge. That kill shot, that 65-yard pass on their last scoring drive was very aggressive.
Right.
Now on 3rd and 6.
They might do that same thing. I'm trying to tell you, Jack Stevens has a great arm, and I think that their team recognizes that and appreciates that. So right now, what I would see, I'd see a play action, take advantage of a one-on-one outside. Same thing like they did in the last one.
Because the first down here blows up their timeout
strategy.
strategy.
Oh, yeah. It makes their timeouts be a waste. And essentially, you can drain the rest of the clock and not let them get the ball back if you do that.
This is key. 3rd and 6. Ball in the 47. American Fork needs a stop right now. Stevens will pass.
Yep, drifting. Oh, nice.
Incomplete. They got the stop they needed.
Yes. And they didn't have to lace it the last time out.
And the clock will stop at 5:42.
Great.
Skyridge has to punt. Excellent execution of strategy by American Fork.
This is exactly what you wanted if you're American Fork. You stop the clock without wasting the timeout. You get the ball back. They have to punt here. Your offense is driving. Essentially, they scored at the beginning of this drive with 1 minute and 30 seconds, on 1 minute and 30 seconds on the clock. If they can do.
Trent calls punt. Will be down at the 27-yard line.
If they can do
All right,
that again.
American Fork has 5 minutes and 32 seconds to work with.
Yes.
They still have 1 timeout. They are down 13, so they're down 2 touchdowns. But now they have a legitimate chance to go down and score and then try to execute another onside kick.
Here's the thing is we know this offense can score quick. Jet Nelson's a big target, right? If you can get that deep ball, that deep post route by him, and he can moss that safety.
Story takes a shot over to the sideline, and it's incomplete. The good news for American Fork is it stops the clock at 5:28. It'll be 2nd and 10 from the 27.
he's going to get it. You got one-on-one outside with Jet Nelson right here. Throw it outside shoulder. Oh.
It's open. Off the fingertips.
They're looking for a late hit on
Jacob Dean couldn't haul it in. He did get hit after the pass was incomplete.
It's crazy. The defender holds his head like, did I do what I think I just did?
He was worried.
Oh, no flag? Okay, good. Okay, good.
He thought he made a mistake. It's clean. He did not. So it's 3rd and 10 from the 27. Story in the pocket. Catch is made. That's a first down.
Pick
that
up
moves
the first
the
down.
chains.
Get on the ball. Go.
So Andrus with another
catch.
catch.
Great job here.
Andrus has had a big game.
Again, you got to go Jet Nelson here. You got first down right here. You want to take a chunk play. This is the play you needed right here. Your safety is stuck inside. Oh, no, he's back over the top. Nice. Great decision.
Story's got to run.
Great decision.
Slides down to the 40. Clock's going to run. They got to get back up there.
The knee to the face.
They need every second. No need to panic, though.
No.
4:50 and counting. Story. 2nd and 10. 2nd and 8 to be specific.
Oh, great
Story
job.
avoids the sack, throws it up. Almost caught. Wow, that was
So if he would have extended the play and came back to the right, he would have had time to see the field again, and Jet Nelson would have been able to open up. He could have possibly thrown that for a big, big game, but hey, man, when you're feeling the pressure in the pocket, I'm not going to blame you for doing anything, especially if you get the ball away.
Give Skyridge defense credit putting pressure there on 2nd down. Now it's 3rd and 8 from the 40. 4:38 left. Story with the pocket, throws, caught. Jet Nelson.
Get upfield.
He's got to get the first down. He does not.
You got to get the first down.
He did not get the first. It's going to be 4th down and about 1 yard to go.
So I would go empty here.
Clock running.
Spread it out. Dylan Story, use your legs to pick this first down up.
4th and 1 from the 47.
Use your legs here.
Going to throw it. Incomplete.
That's huge.
That should do it. That is not what they wanted.
Great defense right there.
Intended for Jacob Erdley.
I'm telling you, these linebackers for Skyridge, hats off to them. They did a great job. Fighting through that right there. Fighting through that little rub route. Coming clean. Out straight man coverage. As I said, I would have went empty and used my legs if I was Dylan Story. But that right there may have been the game.
Tazen Selu in coverage breaks up the pass, and that should do it.
Yeah, these linebackers played outstanding today. His first stop in the run, so Jacob Erdley could not get off. And then coming up big on that pass play right there, that was huge.
Trevin McClellan on the jet sweep.
Got stuck.
Gets down inside the 45-yard line. So American Fork will take their last timeout. We'll take a timeout as well. 3:55 left to play. Skyridge 34, American Fork 21. We'll be right back.
I love my new Blazer. It's cute and comfortable, very quiet, and drives really good in any weather condition. My experience buying it here at John Watson Chevrolet was super awesome. Everyone was really friendly. I didn't feel a ton of pressure, and they helped me get the exact Blazer that I wanted. Definitely a 5-star experience.
John Watson Chevrolet, your 5-star Chevy dealer.
I would give them 6 or 7 stars if I could.
At UCCU, we'll provide you with a low-rate line of credit that makes it easy to access the equity in your home with no fees or closing costs.
Simply complete an application on your phone.
2nd and 7 from the 44. Selu again.
Now the clock is running. American Fork does not have any more timeouts. So if I was American Fork, You gotta rip. You gotta claw. You gotta punch. Mike Tyson punched the football.
Yep.
Try to get that ball out, cause a turnover, because Skyridge is only going to try to stretch this out and blow this clock out. That is what they're going to do. They're going to take up all the time in the world, do basic run plays. You get Selu in there. You claw, you scratch. I'm not going to recommend biting. Not that part of Mike Tyson. But you got to get that ball out if you're the American Fork Cavemen.
3rd and 4 from the 41. We got stop and play. Oh.
False start.
Interesting.
Does that stop the clock?
No, it does not. 3rd and 9. Clock runs up on 3 minutes to play here, and they can play clock right now is at
that's
10, so they can run it down to 2:44.
Honestly, if I was offense, I would do that. I was like, okay.
Yeah.
I thought the clock would stop on the penalty. Oh, nice.
Stevens is wrapped up.
Yeah.
So American Fork gets a stop. So they will get the ball back with no timeouts. Clock still runs. They can run it down to 2 minutes. Now, do they punt or just run a play on 4th down? That's what they'll have to decide. Skyridge has 2 timeouts. They may take one here. And that's likely what they're going to do. They take a timeout with about 2:01 left. And then set up a punt. That's exactly what they'll do.
Great job of utilizing the clock right there from Skyridge. They ate up about 3.5 minutes right there. On that drive, it really didn't go anywhere. But ate up good amount of time in those plays that they had. Stretching out the clock, getting a penalty to help them stretch out the clock. I thought that's interesting. I would have thought after a false start that the clock would stop, but that wasn't the case. And just good call, good strategy, good way to work the system right now for Skyridge.
Trent Call punts. Fair catch called for and made at the 17-yard line. So the Cavemen will get the ball back. They'll have a chance. They've got 1:55 left to score a touchdown, execute the onside kick. Let's see what they do.
Something they should have been doing the entire game. Just go take a shot with Jet Nielsen out the side. I'd run Andrus down the slot to occupy the safety, and then you get one-on-one with Edwards and Jet Nielsen on the side. I just take a shot, just start throwing it. Throw it up.
They got to have a big play, and that's what they're looking for. He ends up throwing it away. I think they were of the same mindset you had. As pressure got to Story too quick, though.
They need to protect him, that's for sure. Skyridge pinning their ears back right now and just, all right, we're coming after you. So that's what I'm saying. If you want to do it, max protect, semi-protect, semi-max.
Catch is made by Edwards.
Get on the ball, get on the ball, get on the ball.
Got a first down, so that will temporarily stop the clock. They'll start it quick.
Yeah, they're going to be down a guy here.
And it started. The clock is running. Story over the middle into traffic. It's incomplete. Jacob Dean, the intended receiver.
He's gotten a lot of targets today.
Here in the second half, yes. And it makes you wonder, right?
Yeah.
They needed somebody to kind of fill that Davis Andrews gap or roll, whatever you want to call it, with him out. And they had Edwards and Dean step up here in the second half, but they needed it for all 4 quarters. So Max Edwards catches it, but he's shaken up. Hope he just knocked the wind out of himself there.
Yeah.
1 minute, 27 seconds left to play. They're attending to him. We'll take a short break while they do that. 1:27 left. We'll have the conclusion right after this.
I love my new Chevy Blazer. The first time I saw one driving down the road, I knew I had to have one. It fits my skis perfectly. It's cute and comfy. I got my Chevy Blazer at John Watson Chevrolet. My experience was amazing. The staff always treats you like family, and it was easy from start to finish. I would rate John Watson Chevrolet 5 stars. In fact, I would give them 10 stars.
John Watson Chevrolet, your 5-star Chevy dealer.
I would definitely recommend anyone looking for a new car to come to John Watson Chevrolet.
For over 25 years, Salt Lake Running Company has helped people of all ages and levels find the gear they need to start their fitness journey.
From a free custom shoe fit analysis to a premium assortment of footwear and workout essentials,
SLRC is a top 10 run shop in America.
Locally owned, locally operated, with locations along the Wasatch Front.
SLRC is there to help you gear up and get out.
Edwards okay, he's back on the sideline, 3rd and 4. Caught. Andrews to miss midfield.
We said he's a big body, big target, sure-handed tight end. It's just unfortunate right now. You wish American Fork had this type of energy back at the beginning of the game.
Story with plenty of time. Throwing it to the sideline. Caught, out of bounds.
Too little, too late.
Jet Nelson with the catch. 1:07 on the clock. Be 2nd down and 3.
Max Edwards comes back into the football game.
Good to see him back out there.
Speed guy. Somebody's got to get off the ball.
Story over the middle. Oh, overthrown. Too much juice on that throw. They were fortunate it wasn't intercepted on the tip. So now 3rd and 3. Still 1:04 on the clock. Story's got the 1st down. He's going to slide. He's got to get back up there and get that snap before it starts. 58 seconds. They spot the ball. The clock starts now. Skyridge in almost a prevent defense here.
Way to fight to get out of bounds.
He did. They gave him out of bounds.
It was only like a 2-yard gain, but
the official gave it to him. It doesn't really help him too much. This is the challenge for American Fork now that the field is shrinking. Is that prevent defense is going to make it tough to go deep. And
yeah, but like
the defense is giving him the underneath.
Yeah, that's what you do right here. Is you run people off. You run everybody in the end zone, and then you run a dig route or a gas route right underneath.
Story over the top. Oh. They're going to throw a flag. They got him. So they do draw the penalty. Nelson was coming across and he was knocked down during his route.
Yeah, may have been incidental. But it happens. Get out of the way, defender.
Cavemen will take it with 37 seconds left. It's going to give them another chance.
Pass interference. Defense number 21. 15-yard penalty from the previous spot, resulting in 1st down.
This is going to be good. Now you just call a nice little fade route, This is perfect distance right here from the 20-21 yard line. You call a nice little fader out to Jet Nelson right on the left side. Have him moss the defender. Edwards is a great defender, but again, that's 6'5" out there.
Story steps up. Now he's in trouble. He's sacked.
Yeah, he just knocked himself out there.
Story is sacked. Clock runs.
Gotta go, gotta go, gotta go. Ball's placed.
Gotta get his guys back in place. He does. Now he's going to take a shot to the end zone. Over the top, nobody's there.
Yeah.
Incomplete.
As
Clock
you-
stops with 15 seconds left.
As you said, that prevent defense, you're not doing nothing with that.
So really, they've got to have a touchdown right here to give himself enough time to get an onside kick and a Hail Mary.
Yes.
So it's got to be in the end zone now. Downs don't matter. It's 3rd and 12, but that doesn't matter. They got to get in the end zone with a touchdown right now. Incomplete. 11 seconds. We'll see if 11 seconds is enough time. Story's got to go to the end zone. He does. Jump ball, interception. That's the ball game.
Yep.
How about a day for Tavian Edwards? Finishes his day with a pick. His second of the game. Tavian Edwards, 2 interceptions. Did an outstanding job on Jet Nelson all morning and afternoon long. And the Skyridge Falcons are headed back to the 6A state championship game.
It was him and Smith Snowden last year, right?
So Edwards is a transfer.
Where's
Edwards came from Wasatch.
Oh, gotcha.
So Tavian is new to the program.
Yeah, he tracked Jet Nelson all day.
Yep.
So without Davis Andrews, it made the job extremely easy for the rest of this defense. You put
In region play, this time it's the Falcons that are on top. They win 34-21, and they are back in the 6A state championship game. The defending champions will get to defend their title against the winner of Corner Canyon and Lehigh. That game will kick off coming up in about 35-40 minutes.
Well, how about that story, right? Like, their only 2 losses on the season were Pleasant Grove and American Fork, and they beat them both in back-to-back weeks.
In the playoffs.
So they got their redemption. So it's not like those teams can come back and say, oh, man, we would have beat you guys. Like, no, we got another opportunity, but we beat you. Great job by Skyridge. Great job staying with it, but that surge at the end of the first half, that 14-point surge at the end of the first half, that was huge. That was huge for ending this football game, because you got up 20-0 at that point, and it really felt insurmountable. You couldn't unseat that. They started the second half with the ball and just made it happen. It was both just absolutely amazing job by this whole team, staying resilient, staying in it, locked in, and now they're in the state finals.
Jackson Stevens will be joining Mara Luz here very shortly, so we'll prepare to go down to her here in a moment. The Cavemen had a great season. They won the region title. They accomplished a lot this year.
Yes, they did.
And, obviously, I don't know if it was the difference in the game or not, but the Davis Andrews injury was a big one for American Fork to overcome, one of the best players in the state.
Yeah. I thought it was significant. You know, one, we saw the surge in the second half for American Fork, so you know their capabilities. But when you lose a leader like that, you need a leader to start the game. And missing Davis Andrews was huge from that perspective.
Whenever Mary Lou's is ready, we'll go down to her. She's standing by with Jackson Stevens. They're trying to sort out, trying to meet everyone's needs here. Mary Lou's is ready. Let's go down to Mary Lou's Cook.
Jackson, my goodness, headed back to the state championship now. What is it feeling for you?
It's legit, man. It's been our goal, you know, from the very, start of the season. So I'm just so happy to be in this position right now. I'm so grateful for my team, my coaches, and all the work that we put in. So one more to go.
We have to talk about your chemistry with La'a today. He had a season-high 3 touchdowns. What was your chemistry like with him?
Yeah, from the first time I got here in January, me and him been working. So, and, obviously he had the middle of the season injury, and you can tell when a dude like that's out of the game. So, huge back today. That dude cooks dudes. He's open. Almost on every play. So, chemistry between us is locked.
Now down the stretch, what kind of confidence did defense give you?
Yeah, this team's a two-headed snake, man. So when both sides of the ball are on, we can beat anyone in this state. So they definitely set the tone from the very beginning, first time of the game. And, they make our job pretty easy, getting us good field position, picking the ball off. So hats off to the D today. Great job.
You talk about setting the tone. What kind of statement do you hope that you made in this game heading into the state championship now?
Yeah, going into this game, there's been kind of a lot of social media stuff out there. So, hopefully this kind of proves what we're all about and, the culture and the work that we've put in. So just, it's kind of an on to the next game focus. But, again, hats off to AF. They got us early this year. They're a great squad, but on to the next, baby.
All right, on to the next. Congratulations, Steve Jackson.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
All right, back to you guys. Oh, no, we have La'a now. We now have La'a.
Go ahead, Mary Lou's.
Go ahead and get started over here. La'a, a season-high 3 touchdowns for you today. What did it mean to be peaking at the right time?
I don't know. It was a great game, trusting our offense. I've been out for a while with an injury, but trusting the team to get us to where we're at, and big stage, you got to make big plays.
Yeah, you mentioned that injury and now being back and to be performing at the level that you are. What kind of confidence does that give you personally heading into the state championship game?
I'm pretty confident. I trust our team completely. I think we've worked so hard to get to this point. We earned everything we got, everything we did so far up to this point, and I just think we're ready. We're ready for the challenge.
I asked Jackson Stevens the same question, but with the way that you guys won this one today, what kind of statement do you hope that makes moving forward?
I just hope, for the most part, it's just all about the noise on the outside with all the drama going on. Everyone on the outside don't know what's going on the inside. Coach Hem couldn't be here with us today. It's tough to not have him, but this game was bigger than just the game. It was for the community, especially for Coach Hem watching at home. I know he's sitting on his couch, just killing him that he can't be out here, but we just play our game and do our thing.
Congratulations to you, La'a.
Thank you.
Back to you guys.
Mary Lou's, thank you. That'll wrap it up for this game. Skyridge is back in the 6A state championship game. They'll defend their title next Friday against the winner of this game coming up. The Corner Canyon Chargers, who considered the favorite to win this state championship, will face the 2-time defending 5A state champion, Lehigh Pioneers, now in 6A, hoping to break through and pull off the upset here in our next game. That should kick off a little after 2:30